You're listening to Backlog Banter with your host, Serial K86.
Hello, greetings, and ciao, everyone, to another episode of Backlog Banter. I'm your host, Serial K, and remember when I said last time that episode was the last episode of the podcast? Yeah, well, there's been change in plans when it comes to real life and stuff like that, and it turns out I have a little bit of more time than what I thought I'm gonna have. So I think we can say welcome to the first episode of season 2. Maybe we can say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say it. It's season 2, baby. We're
Yeah.
back.
Season 2, baby.
Yep, we're back. I'm not sure if there's gonna be another episode after this one, but who knows? But we'll see. So yeah, welcome to the first episode of 2021. We still have COVID. Life is a little rough, but
Yeah.
But yeah. But at least there's a lot of stuff that on the entertainment side of things. There's been
I still have my Netflix subscription.
Yeah, Netflix on your
But
side.
you have your other 5 subscriptions.
No, it's only other one. I don't subscribe to PlayStation Plus.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I used to, but not for a while.
For me, I used to be subscribed to Plus, but dude, I'm kind of tight on money at this moment, so I barely play.
I did it for
online.
Yakuza 5 originally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They offered.
That was the
Yakuza
only
5.
reason I signed up.
Wait,
Ah.
you mean 6, right?
Well, no, when 5 was originally out, it was PS3 only. This was way before the remaster.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah. Because it never came out here, so I thought, okay, it was either £50 to purchase it digitally or get the PlayStation Plus subscription and have the chance to get like 12 months worth of games. So in that way, it's fine. But then you have things like Xbox Game Pass, which sound like a much better deal. But again, I don't have an Xbox One.
Technically, because of the PC port, the PC version, I think is. But that's a discussion we can save for later.
Yeah, that's fine. I know nothing about the PC version.
Yeah, that was before Yakuza 0 when Sega decided to push the game, market the game, a little bit better than 5. And I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that huge gap. But yeah, anyway. Let's not get off track with Yakuza.
Yeah, we got.
even though it'd be lovely, but yeah.
We got plenty to talk about. What about there's been upcoming games announced and stuff like that. There's a game.
There's only one in my mind.
Is it Persona 5 Scramble?
No,
Strikers, whatever.
it's a game that I can't exactly buy yet because I don't have the system it's on.
Let me guess.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I knew
70 damn pounds at launch. Like, that's pushing it, guys. What are you gonna do? 80?
It's gonna be the new standard now.
Yeah. Hey, at least if I got a PS5 and I was out of money, at least I could play Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, I heard I heard that game was.
I mean,
Actually
I'm just glad that at least that's an option. Like, if you're stuck with no games and the PS4 stuff. Although there's only one game I wouldn't be able to run. Was it Shadow Complex?
Really?
That's the only one I have on the incompatibility list. Yeah. I mean, I don't have Joe's Diner, so.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only one. So if I'd have to play through it on PS4, and then think, okay, good, at least I know now I can play through it. But yeah, no, that sucks. I don't know why it's incompatible. Might be an Epic Games deal. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's weird.
Any you looking forward to? New games wise?
Well,
yeah, let's start with Ethan.
Well,
Ethan.
Okay. Besides the as we're recording this, it's literally I think like a week or so until Persona 5 Scramble Strike Berserkers, whatever you prefer, is coming out. So there's that I'm looking forward to, which I wasn't originally because it's a Musou game, and I'm very skeptical of those. And I'm just not that big into grinding for grinding's sake. But from the early impressions I've seen, it's apparently it does have a lot more emphasis on the story and the narrative, which to me is like, okay, that's enough for me to be for me to get it, because I do like the basic gameplay of Musou. It's just the grind that can sometimes be tedious.
There's too many. There's too many. I tried a non-Zelda one, and I was like, oh, I don't see the appeal. There was one with Ryu Hayabusa for the Wii U, and I was like, where is he?
Oh, yeah,
and you have to like,
there was like a Ninja Gaiden one, yeah.
Yeah, it has like they all have ridiculous subtitles, so I can't tell which one is which. There's even ones with Gundam.
Yeah, I think like
as well.
I think like more than one. I think
several. Yeah, basically that's
several.
why. Yeah, I can't believe Dynasty Warriors 1 was just like a 2D fighting game.
Yeah.
Then you look at all the others, and it's like, wow, they really hit their stride.
Hey, but those cutscenes in the old ones, holy crap, they still make you laugh.
Oh yeah.
Feel the power of my magic.
Magic.
But yeah, no, I mean with P5 Scramble, I have a demo. I've not tried it yet. I mean, if it's good, sure. But the I need to still play Royal, because apparently that's the better version.
Royal is the better version, though I should stress the events of Royal, in terms of like actual stuff that was included for Royal, aren't important to know for Scramble, because they were developed at the same time.
Okay.
And so the characters, I should say, that are introduced for Royal and the extra stuff will not really be addressed. Like, they still happen in sort of the canon and everything, but it's not like you need that knowledge to fully understand the story. If you just played the original, then...
Did the dancing ones tie in, story-wise? There's like the amount of Persona dancing games kind of befuddles me a little.
Those are all kind of their own side stuff.
I figured, yeah.
Like this is like the one weird thing where like we actually have like a spin-off that is also somewhat tied to like the canon. The only other one I can think of is the Persona 4 Arena. Which is
man, I got so confused thinking, is Ultimax a sequel or an update?
Ultimax
I don't know.
Ultimax is a sequel, but Ultimax
yes.
includes the original story as well.
I did not know that. I should have bought it.
So,
I didn't realize. I just avoided Ultimax, thinking, okay, well, I actually got to play through Persona 4 Golden first, when I can get back to my Vita.
That's also a situation where you kind of need to understand what Marie's deal is.
That's fine. I'm happy because I want to play more P4, so that's okay.
Yeah, man, isn't it weird? You go from a JRPG and then it's like, okay, now play this fighting game to get the rest of the story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm open. It's like some weird.
Okay.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts has been doing it for years, so you know.
Yeah, but at least they're all the same sort of game.
Yeah, but that's not worth something going into, because we'll be here all day anyway.
Yeah, for me the game I'm looking forward to. Well, it's already out, I think, as the time of this recording. It's Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Oh yeah, I think copies leaked early, or got into people's hands early, or something.
Oh, like
yeah, I'm not sure, but I have been seeing posts about that like already, and I'm like, wait, the game's already out.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I didn't realize it even came out.
Yeah, I mean that too, but yeah, it's out. By the time this even gets uploaded, then we will be out for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it on the Wii U, though I am curious how, if they eliminated all the gimmicky stuff from the Wii U version, like the microphone, input, which wasn't exactly important for. It was fun, but like I'm just wondering, how do they replace those mechanics?
I would assume motion controls. I would assume we use the Joy-Con motion controls for that.
It is nice to have that game on a more accessible format now, because like busting out the Wii U each time, while doable in our house, you had to like hunt for Wiimotes, you had to get batteries. I'm thinking, go for a Joy-Con, it's way easier.
Yeah.
And also apparently the online will not be buggy, but you know.
Oh, it's
let's see
online
how
too.
that holds up.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah. So they'll have an online 4-player, which is
Sweet.
which might be interesting. So you know.
Okay, that's how little I know about this game. On top of Bowser's Fury looking fun, but I'm predicting it'll be pretty short. So I'm
Oh,
not
yeah, of
looking
course.
up anything to do with it. So it just looks like what would have been Mario Odyssey DLC, but you know, more Mario Odyssey is fun.
I'm at least glad that, given that they are charging full price for this game because it's Nintendo, they at least included here's something extra, so it's not just a port of the Wii U game.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Well, that one looks fine on Switch. It's like, okay, do I want the easier mode?
That's literally just an easy mode. They just added an easy mode, and that's it.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'll keep my Wii U copy. It's fine.
Yeah. So, for anyone listening, if some of you haven't figured it out, both guests from the previous episode, Gumshoe, aka Ethan, aka Gumshoe, and Otis, aka Meleemario720, both returned for this episode to talk about video games. So,
oh yeah, we never introduced ourselves, did we?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for introducing us. Hello.
Know who we are.
Yeah.
You know who I am and what do I do?
Yeah, you probably know. That's okay. You could plug. You could do a shameless plug later at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I'll be in the mood for it then.
Yeah. So I think it's I think it's about time we start talking about our picks. So last time we started with Otis. I think it's about time. We're gonna switch things up a little bit and start with Ethan instead. So, what you got? What games you want to talk about?
All right. So, if you don't know me, I like the RPGs because those can be really fun. But those are pretty long, and I think nothing. The most recent one that I finally am getting off my backlog is called Trials of Cold Steel, and geez. It's long!
Is it?
How long?
Okay, well, to be fair, it's like 70 hours, which is not
That sounds
long
tiny compared to most.
But you feel each of them because it is a slow burn. Like, literally, I'm in the final chapter of the game, and only now the story has really gotten, ramped up, and the stakes are really there.
Yeah, because I'm guessing this is is it the PS4 version? Because I only knew of this series.
I'm playing the PC version.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically the PS4 version, except the PS4 version has all the extra cosmetic DLC included.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I only heard of it via a PS3 demo, but there's several in this series, and I don't know which one I downloaded from the Japanese store. Because I don't think it came out in English for a little while. But again, I don't think I got very far.
Yeah, because the fourth game too, I think just came out 2020, but that was already out for Japan at that time. So yeah, and we haven't even gotten the fourth game for the PC, which is coming, but that will be coming later. So yeah, these games though were recommended to me because of the dense amount of world building and characters, and even just the script for this game is insanely wordy. They have so many named NPCs, and even the course of the game, NPCs have their own arcs. I would say off screen, but if you interact with them, then you get to see the development of their arcs, and it's something you can completely miss.
Oh,
and
so we're talking Yakuza-ish in that way, because there's NPCs
kind
who have their own side quests. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's this one of the okay, I probably should preface this. Trials of Cold Steel is a game set in a not magic, quote unquote, fantasy universe where you're high school students. Wow, haven't heard that before at all. The twist is though, it's not magic, it's all machines. You got trains and motorbikes and like little cars, while also having this kind of fantasy-esque setting too. Which
is it,
I'm like, okay, I like that.
So is it like steampunk or something?
It's not necessarily steampunk, but there definitely is some elements of that. I wouldn't 100% call it steampunk though.
So kind of like Bioshock, which is what is it called? Diesel punk.
Diesel punk's a thing?
Yeah, but more clean.
Oh, okay.
Definitely more clean.
I
Clean
see.
punk.
Yeah, for sure. But it still has the kind of fantasy world, and you fight monsters and all that. But there is still like these developed cities too.
I see.
And it's very interesting. And speaking of that, there is just a buttload of lore and stuff that you can read, and it makes me really appreciate the game. But unfortunately, this is one of those games that's like, you have to really like the cast, because you're going to be spending, the game spends a lot of time building up its cast before it starts dropping some really big plot stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the box art and I'm like, yeah, who are these people in red jackets?
Yeah,
If this is the right one.
Well, I mean, they all are technically the first one anyway has red jackets, but every single game is continuation, which is why I've heard this is a slow burn, because literally the sequel starts right where the first one left off, and it's the same for the others.
Oh.
So this is one of them epics, and yeah, you definitely feel like, oh, this is just like part one of a large story. Like, you can definitely feel that way. Luckily, the plot is good enough, and the characters are really strong. It's just you kind of have to get in that mindset that, like, okay, this is gonna be a bit of a slower paced game than you might be used to.
Yeah, because I'm looking up the box art, the third one, and I'm just amused by the subtitle "Early Enrollment Edition." I don't know what that means, but yeah. I also see they're by some company called Falcom, which I recognize, but I don't know what they do. I've seen that logo several times, though. Like mostly RPGs, I'm guessing, from their catalog.
Yes, mostly RPGs. But this isn't even the main or the original version. What's supposed to say? This isn't like the start of the overarching series. No, Trials of Cold Steel is a subset of the Legends of Heroes, which include the Trials of the Sky, which there's 2 games of those, and then there's Trials to Azure, which we never got, and then I think there's like another one that we also never got. And those games tend to, those past ones, the ones that aren't Cold Steel, those references to those in Cold Steel, and some events will carry over. It's like a whole big universe thing, and I'm like, this is insane.
Is there a whole flowchart to keep track of this?
Yeah, there's some flowchart out there, but the biggest thing, to bring it all back, is that you can play this first game without any knowledge. Like, and I have been told you can just start from the Cold Steel series and you'll be fine. You don't have to know the events of the other ones to understand it. It just kind of makes some of the connections a little bit more like, oh, I know what they're talking about, but even then you can still just, if you have to, you can just read up a lot on the lore. Because a lot of the important figures, they'll have like books that you can just like literally pull up and say, oh, who's this guy? Oh, why is this city important? Okay, there we go. I got it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I see so many of these sorts of RPGs, especially on the PS4 and PS3, where I'm like, okay, there's this one. It's kind of like what was it, Hyperdimension Neptunia? Like, you start with one, and it's like, you turn around, and there's suddenly like 5 other sequels.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, it's not, it's like the sort of thing I kind of witness from a distance. I'm like, okay, this looks vaguely interesting, but where the hell would I start? I mean, at least that one seems to have a clear entry point.
Oh yeah, that one has a very clear entry point, though there are some people that are like that you gotta start with the beginning, and I'm like, I don't know if people will be that dedicated. So,
yeah.
At least there's a clear clear enough starting point, which is the first game, and it's relatively accessible, too. I don't find the game too terribly hard, though you will have to get used to how combat is done, because it's not a turn, it's semi-turn-based, but you're also in a bit of a 3D area, so you gotta focus on positioning, range of your attacks, what special attacks kind of will move you across the movement of your enemies as well. There's a lot of little things that go into the combat, but once you kind of get the flow of it, I found it insanely fun.
What was that Namco RPG? Because that sounds similar gameplay-wise. I don't know. What was it? I should know the title. I have the HD collection. It was on the GameCube.
Tales of Symphonia?
Tales of, yes. Because I'm hearing Trials of, Tales of.
Well,
Took me a second to remember.
I haven't played a Tales game yet. I do have Symphonia. I've been meaning to give that a try, but...
Oh, an original copy?
No, I have the PC for it, but I haven't modded, so it will run better in action.
Oh man, I heard horror stories about that version. I was just like, wait,
Yeah.
what? How did you do this?
Yeah, but luckily someone was able to point me in the direction of like, oh, just get it modded, and that it's technically the best version. So I'm like, yeah.
Because the PS3 version, worked. You know, I was a decent amount into it. I haven't played it in a while, but I want to continue. Because finding an OG GameCube copy is sort of expensive, and I think even more so now. And it included the second one, so I just thought, okay, you know, I don't need to deal with Wiimote controls, so that's fine.
But yeah, I won't go into too much of the story here because again, this is an RPG, and I really not want to spoil anything. But I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you like RPGs. This is a great kind of sit back and just like enjoy, have like, you know, a cup of coffee, just play for like a couple hours, and have a fun time. It's great. The characters are all really great. There's a surprising amount of voice acting, like a lot of voice acting. And that's always nice. So, yeah, check it out. If you ever have,
Is there a demo out there, like the Japanese store in English, or?
I do not know if there is a demo. I didn't see one for the
There
PC
might be on
version,
one region.
But yeah, the games do tend, at least the first game anyway, I know tends to go on sale pretty frequently. So, there's that.
Yeah, and it's gonna be, I believe it's gonna be available soon in Japan on the Switch.
Oh, are they getting Switch ports? Dang.
Yeah, just checked it on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Okay. No, honestly, when it comes to Japan, it's probably gonna take us a year until we get that version for
The thing is, it's all.
because it takes that long.
Wouldn't it have already been like fully translated? So the translation job would be zilch.
Yeah.
Again, I know nothing about
but
game programming.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first game I want to talk about. Check it out. It's pretty great.
All right. So.
The other one.
So the next.
It's not an RPG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the other one is not an RPG. It's Onimusha. Have any of you heard of this game?
Yes, I just bought the HD version because it had good controls for once.
Well,
I never played it, but I've heard of it, and I used to have a friend who was a huge fan of the series. He was I don't know what he thinks about the remaster, but he always wanted Capcom to remaster the series.
Everyone
yeah,
did for like ages.
Yeah,
And they did.
and I can definitely see why. So I played the HD version. I got it like fairly recently when it came out in 2017. I want to say it was. Yeah. 2019, not 17.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got it like later that year for half off, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give this a shot eventually. And I did, and it is pretty great. I wasn't expecting it to be that as short as it ended up being, which is surprising. I beat it in like 4 hours.
Wait, it's that
on my
what?
first try. Yeah.
It's that what? That
it's
that
short.
surprised me because
It is
okay,
a
I always
short game
expected it to
now.
be super long.
No. This is a short game.
Oh, it's
I
like
might be like an hour in. Wow. Okay.
No.
is it the Devil May Cry short?
No. No, it's shorter. It's shorter than the Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry can take you. Like we're talking like the first Devil May Cry, which came out around the same time. Then that series is longer by far.
Wow.
Mostly because of the difficulty.
Yeah, this is a lot shorter. You
Wow.
can beat it in a day if you at least push hard. I should stress, you can beat it in a day if you're playing this version, this specific version.
Oh yes, because the controls actually work this time.
Well, that, but also something else, which I'll get into later.
Okay.
But Onimusha is the story, the very totally real story about Japan's history. Just happens to involve, monsters, onis, or as it's terribly translated, ogres.
Oh.
Don't know how they messed that up, but whatever.
And Jean Renault. Wait, he's not in this one.
Oh no, not in this one.
I know.
No.
I'm joking.
Does it involve a?
Yeah, it's basically
Go on.
just you play as the samurai dude, and you need to rescue the princess from the evil demons that need to use her for some dark ritual, and that's literally the plot.
Oh yeah. So it's
Yep,
simple.
I figured
to the
it'd be
point.
simple.
Simple to the point.
It is straight, simple to the point.
Hmm.
And it doesn't really get any more complex than that. Like I'm not kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, because that short length really surprised me. Because honestly, okay, I'm terrible at like beating games in a short time. Like I'm a little more dedicated now, but sometimes I'll like put down a game for ages, pick it back up, and it's like, wait, it's over.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
happened
so
multiple
I probably
times.
Should stress when I said 4 hours, I think it was closer to 5 on my first try, but that's because I died in a very terrible spot. I didn't get a chance to save.
Oh man, the save points.
So yeah, it was one of those situations. But the game, I don't find it to be necessarily super hard. It's just one of those you gotta get used to the fixed camera and the flow of combat and the quote-unquote tank controls. If you're playing the
Yeah.
HD version, it is more like Resident Evil 4 controls, where it's like semi-tank controls, but not really. And it's a lot easier to manage in that sense. I guess I could call it like Devil May Cry then, where the movement isn't tank controls, but you still kind of has that chunky feel to it.
Devil May Cry before they stepped away from pre-rendered backgrounds. Like, was that their last pre-rendered background game? Because
I'm not sure. I think maybe
I'm pretty sure there were others. I don't know how many. If you like put them up on a list, I don't know how many would add up.
But yeah, this is
Probably a
definitely
few.
the kind of midpoint between Resident Evil and Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
It's like right in the middle of kind of having that more action focused, but still being a much more slower pace and not like insane combos
So,
all the time.
so can we compare it to like Resident Evil Code Veronica maybe?
I would actually compare it to a more slower paced Sekiro.
Oh.
Actually, because in this game, there is a lot of because in this game you'll be doing a lot of dodging and blocking and quote unquote parrying. It's not like an actual maneuver, but like in terms of like a button that you press. But if you attack right as an enemy is attacking, then you'll do like this parry move that does a lot of damage and can just wreck enemies. So that's like the combat is just you kind of being defensive and offensive and using the weapons at your disposal, and then using your special attacks if you need to. And yeah, it's a bit hard to describe the flow of the game. It really is one of those you kind of got to play for yourself to understand how things are going to go. But block is your friend. because basically nothing can really break your block unless you get hit from behind. That's it.
What about the gauntlet? One of the main
Yeah.
mechanics.
So the gauntlet is basically used to suck up souls, which you need to upgrade. And that's kind of the one big thing that like could take you a lot of time to do, unless you are like me and whenever there's an enemy spawn, I just immediately kill it. Then you should be fine. Because because you need a certain amount of souls to not only upgrade your weapons, which you should do, but not before you upgrade the main soul orbs that you need to open doors.
Oh yeah, that is like a vital part, and it's like, I think I might have gotten like stuck on one, although I think I was like wise to the doors at that point. I was thinking, okay, I'll just invest those in there.
So invest in those, and then after that, I'd say pick a sword that you like, because you get 3. You get your medium katana, this heavy broadsword, and then this more quicker double-bladed sword. Pick one of those that you like a lot, and then just put that one to max, and you're good.
Fair enough. I think I almost upgraded one actually when I was last playing it, because I bought it. Actually bought it like a few weeks ago actually when it was on sale amongst a bunch of other games. And have any of you played the original version?
Not the PS2 version, which this is basically the PS2 version, though with a worse soundtrack, because the person that composed the original.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because of the composer scandal.
I completely somehow forgot that happened. That's not the first time that happened with a Capcom game. There was Resident Evil as well with the the basement music.
Yes. I think this is the same guy. Something like
Wow.
It is the same guy. So that's why the music is completely different in the remaster.
I didn't notice actually. I don't think I played the original version long enough to find out.
No, I didn't notice until after I beat the game and did some research, and I was like, oh, okay.
Is the new music good? I'm trying to recall any tracks.
I mean, it's fine. I didn't really have a problem with it, but
Did
I do think
either of you
PS2 kind of hits a little bit.
Yeah. Did either of you try the Xbox version?
That's the other one I was gonna get into. So remember when I said that asterisk where like, oh, it only took me about 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, if you play that version, it's definitely gonna take you a little bit longer. And that's just because of the way the game's designed and remixed. It's also a lot harder. I have recently been playing through the Xbox version, but I put it down because I was not expecting it to be as hard.
Oh.
Are we talking gameplay mechanic wise, or because of the controller you're stuck with?
Oh no, the controller, I didn't think it was that terrible.
Wait, really? The mushy Xbox D-pad?
Oh well, I mean, I'm playing it on my 360, so.
Oh, okay. Still not my favorite D-pad, but yeah, no. If you're playing this on an OG Xbox, like I tried, with the Duke controller with its weird mushy D-pad, feels almost fucking impossible to play. And also because when I first played it, I thought my left analog stick was broken. Because I was like, wait, how am I supposed to move? And I realized, oh, it's a D-pad only game. So the PS2 version is more playable in that regard because you have a D-pad with multiple directions, and the S controller is a little bit better, but it's not the best D-pad ever. I mean, I guess on a 360, you're gonna have a better time. But even in the HD one, I was constantly accidentally opening the map because clicking in the left stick brings up the map. So I have to be like super careful not to click it in. I don't know if you ever ran into that issue at all, but no, it wasn't like it was more problem on my part.
That there was a map until literally I was in like the final area, and I was like,
what
the frick? There's a map.
I only knew that because, again, like clicking every button on the PS2 original, I was like, oh wait, left stick is the map. It just seems sort of crazy to me that a lot of early PS2 games didn't use the analog sticks all that much, but I guess because they were still figuring it out.
And I mean, the original game came out in 2001. Oh yeah, so it's 20 years. It's 20.
It's just on that brink. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, the main reason why the Xbox version is harder is because not only do you have to grind more souls in this one, which is just not fun. They added 2 new dungeons, one that's shorter and one that's longer, and the long one literally is just kind of a pain to get through. And then they also added this mechanic with the green souls, where if you suck them up, then like you can get more powerful, but if an enemy sucks them up, then they get more powerful, and if it's a big one, then oh my god, you can just almost instantly die.
Do bosses suck them up too?
I want to say they don't, but because they only appear after you like down the enemy.
I never got far enough to find out. It was only in HD I actually managed to beat a boss. I was like, wow, I can actually do this now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it is. I mean, I would be curious to see the what are the extra dungeons any good?
Well, I mean, there actually is like more armor and customizable stuff in the game in the Xbox version. So in that sense,
okay.
Yeah, I mean there is more rewards and stuff to do, and there is definitely improvements to the base game. To the point that like I'm very surprised it isn't in the HD. Like I'm just gonna flat out.
Yeah, no,
really
you think, yeah, because I know it's on the Switch as well, and that got like a cartridge in Japan, like like just that one game. Because people were asking for like a Devil May Cry style collection, but like it's Capcom's strategy just to release one at a time. They've been doing it Resident Evil for years, and they eventually compile them for like way too much, and then forget half the games on the Switch cart. That's just me.
Yeah.
No, with their RE4 port, they put RE4 on the cartridge, but 5 and 6 as codes. So technically, it's worth something if you just want RE4, and that's fine. I mean, it's better than what they did with the Resident Evil Origins collection, where they just put RE0 on the cartridge.
Oh,
Dang.
Like, unless you really like RE0, I guess there's probably people out there who do. And that's fine. I didn't get into it, though. Basically, Capcom don't know how to collect shit. I mean, have you seen their Mega Man ones?
yeah.
Well, split them up.
To be fair, I thought, okay, Legacy Collection 1 and 2, I thought that was a pretty good split. Also, seeing as 9 and 10 were kind of more recent, so
It was
like,
cool
okay.
to finally get it, like, physical, which was cool, because I never played none of
The physical, I think we're fine. I don't know why they hadn't felt the need to split up the X games, but
No.
whatever. That was dumb.
That was pretty dumb.
That was really dumb.
And they did
But
another
hey,
collection.
At least they got it right for Z and ZX.
Yeah. So I'm predicting eventually when they get round to remastering Onimusha 2 and 3 and 4. Not the Smash Brothers clone though.
Oh,
Did you know they did that?
No,
They
I
made
didn't
they
know
made a
that.
Smash Brothers clone before the 4th Onimusha.
Dang.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't remember what it was called. It was some generic title, but yeah, no. Basically, it took me a while to find the 4th one because I didn't even know they made one.
Well, yeah,
It was
because
like Dawn of Dreams.
generally, whenever I hear people talking about this, it's just 1, 2, and 3, and those are all for PS2.
Oh yeah, 4 was on PS2 as well. Yeah, and it was like
Oh,
2
4's on
discs
PS2,
big.
okay.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, why do people not bring it up? And I've not played it yet for comparison because I want to play the rest to completion. But I'm just like, okay, yeah, did something go wrong with 4 and then that turned people off, and then who knows? I don't really know.
Mm-hmm. All I know is just that the first game is dang good and really short. So, if it seems like your cup of tea, if you don't mind, if you don't mind the whole fixed camera angles style, which, to be fair, I don't think it really got in the way of combat unless you're doing some of the dungeons or dungeons, quote unquote. It's more like the Bloody Palace mode of the game, where you're just fighting waves and waves. Sometimes the camera angle can be a little bit less than favorable when you're just in a corner and you can't see your character because there's just 2 big ogres in front of you, and you're like, okay.
Well,
so yeah,
One big ogre or guy talking about meat.
It can get a little awkward, but
Yeah.
I still recommend it, definitely.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones. I mean, there are some like weird puzzles in it as well. There was like a water chamber one where I was like, "Oh God, what am I doing? What am I doing?"
Google.
Yeah, I did. I had to do that because I was just like, "How the hell am I?" Because basically, it wasn't the puzzle wasn't the problem. It's the fact it was the 15. It would have been a 15-minute drawback if I died, because you have to solve like a floor tile puzzle, and then pick up like you have to like pull switches in a certain order, do a floor tile puzzle, then the drowning puzzle. Not drown, then you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's okay. I guess if you know it's coming, it's not so bad. But yeah, I didn't know.
All right. Well, with that said, that's all I really have to say on those two. Sorry for the rambling, but these are good. Both of my games ended up being really good and surprising in their own ways. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So which?
too.
So you recommend Onimusha, but which version do you recommend? Do you recommend the Xbox one or the HD collection?
The
HD one.
Xbox, if you can find a good cheap copy, which generally you can now, then I would recommend that. But I still think the HD version is probably the most accessible one. If you're unsure, and it also goes on sale pretty frequently, so yeah, don't feel bad if like you can only play the HD version, because it's not a terrible like port. I thought it was pretty good, and it just kind of sucks that a lot of the extra features and added content that the original Xbox version had is not in the HD port.
Yeah, like throw in a original or Genma mode, or Genma. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, that would have been a
Genma,
great option.
Yeah.
Genma, yeah, okay. Yeah, just have a version where it's just both. That you can
It literally should just been an option, and I think that would have been fine.
Yeah,
But
that's like feels less value that way, but hey, it's still good. It was worth the £6 I paid, so I'm happy.
At that price, oh yeah, totally. I would.
That was a good price. I couldn't pass it up. I was after that one for a while.
Okay, so those were Ethan's picks. Moving on to you, Otis. What you got for us?
Okay, so first game I'm following in is one I finished recently. It is Thief. Sadly, not the Dark Project. It's the one from 2014.
The remake.
Yes, or reboot, fourth game, whatever.
Oh, reboot. Yeah, reboot. My bad.
Yeah. Before that game
failed the reboot.
Yes. Before that game came out, there was an image floating around of like Thief, but with the number 4 put in. It was like four Thief. It's like Drift 3R.
Like
I don't know how that works.
I get
it's not as absurd as Deadly. Sorry.
Yeah, it's yeah. When people use it like that, yeah, it doesn't make sense. With 3, I can kind of get it, because 3 kind of looks like the letter E flipped. But with 4, I don't get it. Like it's supposed to be like.
Well,
like
no,
an
you
A.
should see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see the cover to Deadly Premonition 2. It's Dear 2E Premonition.
Oh, that's just absurd.
Like, they tried to replace the D with the number 2, and it just does not work.
No.
On top of everything else in the game.
But that's its charm.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Thief is a stealth series. There's 4 titles. People seem to really like the first 3. I played a bit of each. There's the first one, the second one, and one on the Xbox, Deadly Shadows, which I thought would be the prime candidate for a DS title. Deadly Shadows DS. Like, every game is doing that for that format. But no, I played. I think the one I played the most of was 2, because not that I was any good at it, but because we got like a cheap copy. I tried it out. And I didn't know how stealth games work, so I didn't know you were supposed to crouch and move in the shadows. So I just went up to NPCs and just bashed them on the head. I didn't know. I knew I was a thief. I just thought, just go
listen.
in.
You could play stealth games as they're intended, or you could just get rid of every single person, and then be like, well, see, there's nobody to notice if there's no one to notice. So
unless your first mission has an NPC that cannot die, otherwise you fail.
Oh, frick, yeah.
Yeah, that's what the first game had. You had to protect someone in the first half, which I eventually did after I figured out how to play it, and I was like, oh, this is good fun. And then there's the first one, which apparently is only playable with a patch, at least on modern systems. Something called T-Fix.
Yep, because it's that old of a game.
Yeah. I have an OG copy somewhere.
Okay, well, question. It's old, quote unquote, but it's at that time because it was mid 2000s or 2000s rather, era PC game, and it's basically hit or miss if those were run on modern systems.
Yeah. Now one of the main hooks I know from the Thief series is the light gem, or like its use of darkness and sound. Like the way you can like sort of if you wear headphones, it's apparently pretty immersive. Like you can hear guards approaching from around corners very accurately. And you have this little light gem in the center of the screen that lets you know how light or dark you are. I did it before Splinter Cell actually, which is probably one of its inspirations. Because it's just like, you know, it gives you, since you're in the first person, you're a bit more easily able to determine if enemies can see you or not, because if one enemy spots you, you know, pretty much just load your save, because you're not likely to get out those fights. But yeah, with this reboot, which I bought, what was the bizarre circumstances? Okay, I bought it on PS3 in the brief period shops were open, but now that my PS3 is in storage, I thought, oh, I can't play this. So it was on sale on PS4 for like a ridiculously low price, like 160, 145 or something, 59, including the bank heist mission, which would have been about what, $3.99 separately. And considering how short that mission is, I was like, yep, I'll go for that. And also on the box, it has the most PEGI rating logos I've ever seen.
Really?
Do you wanna guess how many?
What?
Yeah. Okay, it's only rated 16, but it has violence, language, sex, drugs, like all in a row. And it's like, whoa, how many content warnings are there?
Wow.
It's weird it was only 16 though. I mean, it's not like the most violent game ever, but I just thought,
that's probably why, because it's not. I mean, like, to be fair, I don't know how your rating system handles things, so.
Very weirdly, but both of them we have like 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had the films one, BBFC, and then they stopped doing games. And then at the same time, you'd have PEGI, which rated things slightly differently. So in weird circumstances, you'd have things like Mass Effect 1, where it's rated 12 by BBFC, but 18 by PEGI in the same country.
That's weird.
Which makes no sense. Yeah, it's completely screwed up, basically. And some of the descriptions can get quite funny on BBFC, but like, yeah, just look up the Rabbids Wii U one. You'll have a riot. Anyway, so yeah, no, this game is actually by the Deus Ex Human Revolution team, which Eidos Montreal, which made Human Revolution is a favorite game of mine.
Yeah, I played the Wii
yeah,
it's good.
Oh, that Wii U version's underrated. It's great. Yeah, no,
I didn't even know.
Most extensive use of the gamepad I've ever seen. You can write notes on the touch screen. You can record voice messages to yourself. There was Miiverse support before, that was taken off. Yeah, really, really cool version. There's not many stealth games on the Wii U. You have the other Splinter Cell, which is fine.
On the Wii U.
Yeah, I own most of them. But yeah. Pretty much a whole library of Wii U games. But yeah, basically, Thief is Deus Ex Human Revolution, but done badly.
Oh no.
And without the cool, like...
by the same
world.
team. Yeah, without the cool world. Oh my god, the world. I'll briefly mention the story, because it's nothing worth really mentioning that whole much. You play as Garrett, like in the other games. He's a master thief. He goes around stealing stuff. So in this one, they try to make some sort of mystery with this this lady protege he has called Erin, who like disobeys his orders, runs off, and then causes like a magic explosion at like a temple where there's these monks sort of like trying to summon something. It's very like that whole opening is a complete clusterfuck, like from like a framing standpoint, because you'll cut to these choppy FMVs, which is sort of fascinating. That's on the PS4. It's like, wait, why is it this is something wrong with my version? It's not downloaded, but you're just sort of thrown into this intro where like you're trying to like rescue your companion who's like fell down a like a domed window while like a twirly mustache villain is like chasing after you, and it's like a complete look up the intro because it's just like I don't know how to explain it.
Let me clear something up. Isn't that I have some very brief memories of playing the reboot. I know I have it because I think it was like a Games with Gold on Xbox. I remember just playing like I think the first hour, and I was like, I hate this, and I never picked it up again.
Wow. So you don't remember him, like falling, like
the last thing I remember
swinging around
is,
inside a temple?
No, the last thing I remember is going to meet this like lady who was in like a forest, not forest, like with flowers. I don't remember. That's like the last image I have, and being like, yeah, no.
Flowers. I think that's relatively early on, actually.
Yeah, it is. I know it was early on. I just could not get into the game.
No, and I don't blame you. Yeah, because mentioning the story, a bizarre like factor about it was I didn't realize this until the credits. Is the name Rhianna Pratchett familiar to either of you?
No.
Okay, she's the daughter of Terry Pratchett, who wrote Discworld, which was like its own. It was like a book that turned into a game series. She was involved in Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a pretty well written game, as hokey as it can be. Like most of her ideas were just sort of chucked out because they couldn't decide on like a main theme, I don't think. So because it suffered, like the whole game suffered from like a long development period. So the whole narrative is sort of, it's very evident in how sort of messy it is. But like, yeah, because basically scenes are interrupted by loading screens. Like after the intro, with the swinging around and the green spell explosions and the monks chanting, you suddenly end up in a death cart. And it's like, okay, cool. This is like an hour after the event. No, apparently that was a year.
What?
I didn't find that out until a review. Like a year had passed, and like, wait, so only now he's in the death cart? What the fuck is going on? So was he just asleep amongst a bunch of corpses for like a year? Like what?
So the only thing I can get from this plot is that it's just insane and
insane, but not fun.
What the frick to do?
No, it doesn't know what to do. It goes, you think it's going to play it straight, and that's fine. And it goes all weird and supernatural, and only kind of half works. And then, because things just sort of happen. You have a twirly mustache villain, as I mentioned earlier, called like the Master Thief Taker, or Grand Thief Taker, or whatever the fuck his name is. He looks like, he was compared to an actor in a video I watched. He played Abe Lincoln, that's all I know, in like a film called Lincoln. And he had like a mustache. I don't know, not the actor, but the appearance was compared to that. But that's all I know. But yeah, and also like another point of contention with this reboot from the beginning was they changed Garrett's voice actor. Yeah, because like fans were not happy about that. They changed him from Stephen Russell, who voiced I think pretty much every game, to someone called Matthew Edison, which, when I was looking it up, there's a weird fact where apparently he's related to Thomas Edison.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, he's like the great grandnephew of Thomas Edison, and he can't act.
Oh.
Well,
like he's just like edgy, moody all the time, and like it's just, but no fun. There's no like fun wit to him. He's not like a fun Robin Hood type at all. Like he's just sort of dull and brooding, and it's like Batman occasionally. Not even like that. I can't. Basically, if you do a Batman impression and it does not sum it up, it's just bad. But yeah, that was the most funny aspect I found. So like, about it, but story wise, yeah, because the only thing I really have to say about the game is that it's like the main missions are fine. You have 8 total. They're in varied places from. Let's see. You have, several gothic locations you can expect. You have underground areas, you have churches to explore around. It's hard to sum them up because some of them sort of blend into one another. Like you have 2 mansions. and they're fine in the moment, but then what's it? There's what the only genuinely almost good level is an insane asylum with no enemies, and it's genuinely terrifying. That's the highlight of the game, because I guess, Gumshoe, you didn't get that far to see it.
Nope. The only level I remember playing is like, I think there was like docks or like a sewer or something like that.
Ooh, yeah, docks and sewers, the best settings.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If there is one thing, I guess, is like, I did like the look of the game. I thought it had some pretty interesting art.
Oh yeah, art design wise, it's fine. Like, it looks okay, though it does suffer from that last gen-ish look where, since it had to be put on PS3 and PS and 360, they had to kind of accommodate those features in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I'll get into a little bit more of that in a moment, but actually, no. Briefly back to the voice acting. Some factor I forgot to mention. The original voice actor for Garrett, he's actually Corvo in Dishonored 2.
Oh.
What the heck? This is way better as Corvo.
Yeah, he got to be in a good stealth game. They thought, hey, people liked him in Thief, let's put him in this game. And also, Dishonored's a way better stealth game because it came out after Dishonored 1.
Yep, and I distinctly remember not liking Thief, and I just thought to myself it was a worse Dishonored.
Dishonored is so much better. Like, they got everything right in that, mostly. 2 improved upon it. I've not played Death of the Outsider, but I'm guessing you both loved that one?
Well, I don't know. Serial, have you played any of the Dishonored games?
No, but I had a guest who played both of them. I had him on the show. He was when it was in the first episode. Doug Sparkish. Yeah, he's the one. He played. If he was with us, he would probably have more to talk about these games.
Either way, great stealth games. Avoid this one. But like, the thing that Dishonored doesn't have are its range of gadgets. Because the main hook of original Thief was you had like a variety of arrows. You had your standard arrows, then you had water arrows to put out fires. Because since you still rely on the dark here, you can use that to mask your pathway, and that's cool. Although only when they work, because they work on torches, but they don't want to work on big open fireplaces. Not even like, they're not huge, they're like mini fireplaces, but you have to go up right close to them, because seriously, I shot 3 water arrows at it and it didn't go out until I was right in front of it.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know if that was just me and my slightly off aiming, but I was just like, well, I'm aiming at torches, no problem, so there must be a problem with the game. And you have explosive arrows as well, which, I don't really use them because I don't like to be loud in stealth games unless it's absolutely necessary. And also you have like a grappling club to climb up crates. So, your standard gear, but then the way you select them is very bizarre on the PS4 version because, okay, since this was an early PS4 title, how much use have you used the touchpad?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Like,
this one was... Oh, sorry.
Because, like, yeah, well, they got rid of the 6-axis, so you gotta put it for something else. I know,
The
touchpad.
6-axis is sort of there. Yeah. Well, basically, this default inventory, you have to hold your finger on it and release to get your gadget. When I played the demo, I had no idea what it was talking about. So I had to figure it out. I had to like fumble through the menu to like get to everything. Because but then I didn't actually know you could turn it off and then go to a more standard rotary wheel to select your gadgets. So that was way better. It's like, why not just have that on? I think they were just trying to be gimmicky. And also in like and also you can aim with the controller itself like a motion controller, but only during arrow aiming. And it's fine, actually. It's actually okay for fine-tuning. Yeah, I just didn't expect it in the PS4 version. I was just like, really? It's here? Yeah, the problem... And also you have the rope arrows, which are like... That should be fun. Being able to shoot rope arrows into any surface to climb up, leap into windows and such. But... Oh man, they're so restrictive compared to previous games, apparently. Because apparently in previous games, if it's like a wood surface, you can shoot it in and make your own path. But in this one,
like fun, honestly.
Only certain surfaces with like a rope outcropping will work.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, at least the sorry.
So moral of the story is just that this game is just completely just not fun. Like
It's
not
neutered,
even like
yeah.
just to play. Like if the story was just weak, but the gameplay was fine, would you say that like, oh, okay, at least you know that? But
yeah, it seems like it's trying to be too much but not enough, because okay, the actual like looting mechanic is fine, but like every animation is like played out every time you snatch a piece of gold. Like a little the gold doesn't just disappear. Like a hand animation appears each time. Like for every single drawer that you open. So if you don't want to get caught, it's like, oh fuck, I gotta hurry up. But yeah, the other main problem is, again, the way the city is divided up. This is one of the most confusing overworld maps I've ever come across, because I mean, since you didn't get too far in, I guess, did you go to the open world at all?
yes.
Okay.
I remember going into the open world and just not liking just even maneuvering.
It's so boxy. It's like,
Yep.
Okay, it's confusing. It's poorly laid out. Even though there's like an arrow telling you where you are, basically certain objectives will like appear behind loading walls where you have to either like mash a button to open a window, because sometimes you have to go through houses to even go in, and that'd be fine if there wasn't a loading screen every other time, because sometimes loading screens will pop up, because if it's a QTE and you're not pressing the button, like it loads before like you press the button, then it cuts the loading screen. But if you do mash a button, then there's no loading, but you have to mash a button. So it's like, what? Like, well, why is the button mashing even there? Just have it as like a single use like press, then you open the window and you're in. I guess since this is like a detractor of it being built for older hardware, so that's the main downfall. But yeah, no, honestly, overall, oh my god, I keep going on about it, and it's like there's so much wrong, and especially in the overworld, there's the sound as well. Like, would either of you guess how this game sounds?
I see, because like the setting is very gothic, right? It's a gothic New England-esque dark atmosphere. So you would expect a lot of maybe ambient noises, maybe like cart wheels, I don't know, stuff like that. Very machine type of sound. But like, what is it? Is it like extremely crunchy? Is it just like you shoot off like a rope and it's just suddenly like on blast?
No, it's everyone talks too much, and everyone sounds like they're super close in your face, even though they're supposed to be indoors or across the street. And it really fucks you up when like you're trying to determine where anyone is, because there's no footstep noises. And apparently in the older games you could actually hear the footsteps.
That is like a basic thing for stealth games, is sound, because a lot of, especially if it's first person, stealth games, you need to have the sound. You need to know, like, okay, I know that I can hear like maybe two distinct voices over that way, so I should probably go the other way. Or I can hear a footstep like above me or below me. Like, that's super important. To not have that, oh jeez.
Because the most awkward moment was during a brothel mission, where it's the funniest one because you can knock everyone out with opium.
Okay.
That's what got the drugs rating.
Does that.
Yeah. But like the most awkward one is you're trying to sneak behind a wall, and there's constant like noises of people jumping on the bed. That's as mildly as I can describe it. But basically, you can hear them as if you're right in the room with them. But no, they're supposed to be behind a wall, muffled. But it doesn't sound like that. It's so bizarre. And also
They
because the
forgot
sound,
muffle.
yeah, they forgot to add any filter or whatever. It's just so weird. Because apparently turning on headphones mode was better, but I didn't hear any difference. It was just so weird. And also, screams will sometimes, and in that particular section, screams came in too late. So when I activated the opium, no one was knocked out until I actually went behind the curtains they were supposed to be in, and they went, oh! Then they fell. So it's like the opium caught up to them as soon as I entered the room. It was weird, and I don't think opium knocks you out that fast anyway. Anyway, I won't mention any more opium. I don't want to get flagged. yeah, it's just so weird, and actually factors into me getting fed up with the open world, because in a stealth game I want to sneak, so I sneak in the main missions, which are fine. But in the overworld, okay, I just want to get to my next objective or the shop, because only certain shops will sell upgrades, others will just sell you ammo, but you don't know which ones because they don't differentiate, which is bad. Yeah, that's terrible design. So what I end up doing is I end up knocking out all the guards just so I can run through the city just to get to my objective faster. And apparently there's a trophy for getting through the game without knocking anyone out. I can't imagine doing that. Like, not for the overworld. For the main missions, sure, because those are actually much better designed. Like, not by much, because they still insist on putting in like weird over-the-top action sections where you can still get a ghost rating even if you're like seen in these scripted sections where you're being there's like a whole Assassin's Creed like chase scene on like several rooftops where the camera's zooming in everywhere on like, you know, guard dogs chasing you. You jump on a table and he says something like "evening fellas" and then dashes through a window, and you're still not seen apparently according to the stealth rating. And it's so bizarre because you can't avoid those sections because they're part of the game. And it's like, you know, just have a stealth option, and then if you get into trouble, then, you know, the actiony bits kick in. That's how a normal stealth game would work. Yeah, so just overall play Dishonored. That's all I can say about it. So yeah, play Dishonored. Even if you haven't played Dishonored. I know, it's just, yeah, it's one of those games which is so frustrating that like, even it's incompetence. Like, it looks like it would have every single element there, but it just doesn't. So you're lucky you played the hour and I somehow finished the game, because it wasn't... Basically, if it was just the main missions, I'd have nothing against it. But since it has the overworld and that and, you know, these side missions which are only there to get gold, which do have fun traps, and the bank heist one is okay, there's nothing really else to recommend. I mean, no one's at a cheap price. So yeah, I don't know how much you tried of it, but like, you know, how much did you spend any money on it? Was it just the demo?
No, it was part of Xbox's like games with gold. Like,
oh,
really,
good. So
really,
you
really
didn't,
early. Like really early.
Yeah, you didn't spend anything then.
Yeah, I legit didn't spend anything on it, so that's why I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. And quickly, I'll move on to a much better first-person game, which I'll actually have. I think I might have less to talk about, but I enjoyed way more, even with its problems. It's Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I have yet to actually play that one, but I really do love the first Mirror's Edge.
Oh, good. I was going to ask if either of you played the first one.
I played the first one, but didn't play. I never played the Catalyst.
Okay, so the first one, I actually ended up. I mean, I don't get games new. That's like a tradition almost, because of course, you know, new games are pricey. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't have the system, Ratchet and Clank. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, honestly, this one was so good. I got it twice. When it was like not long after launch, it was on sale for like £20 in HMV, which is like a UK. Well, it did used to sell games, but their game selection now is like pretty pitiful. I mean, they mostly specialize in music, but basically they had it on the desk, I think. And I ended up like, hey, it was like 20. I just said, hey, this is cool. Because what got me interested was the art style. Mainly, you know, you have this stark, mainly white and red look in first person, and it was by a developer who made loud, bombastic shooters. Usually, what was it? Battlefield.
DICE, yeah, that's the
DICE, yeah. Who also made the Shrek game.
Really? They made a Shrek game?
Yeah, for the Xbox. Look it up, and it's called on the GameCube. It's called Shrek Extra Large.
Oh, that one.
No, yeah. Wait. DICE was responsible for that?
Yes. Yeah, they had a different logo, but it's still DICE. And it's funny because Shrek kind of free runs in that game. He's so fast.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You could always play the Mirror's Edge theme. You could always play the Mirror's Edge theme, just like footage of him running around and burping and farting everywhere.
Still alive. I'm still alive.
Mentioning that, they don't have that track in the Catalyst actually. Like, even though there's a jukebox.
Oh.
Yeah, but only in the first half of the game, and after that you can't use the jukebox.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And it's a shame that you can't play the tracks as you're running, but yeah, I'll get onto that in a bit. But yeah, no, basically the story's simple. It works. I played it multiple times because it's it's relatively brisk. I played it on 360 first. Then I had this weird anti-360 phase, which I can't remember if I mentioned last time.
No, you never mentioned that.
Oh no. Okay. To sum it up, I got fed up with the Xbox 360 and thought I'll just sell everything and get on PC. My PC ran game was like crap. So I rebought everything, got a better 360 that wasn't like an OG model because the slim model actually worked and had good Wi-Fi. Because with the older model, you had to connect it to a laptop to like even get a connection. It was stupid. But yeah, and also because I didn't like using the bumpers to jump, so I put it on PS3 and L1R1 was like the solution pretty much. I don't know how it is on PC because I don't want to use Origin.
Yeah, and now it's like I know it's like bundled with like the EA Play thing that they have, which is also a part of Game Pass. So technically, it's part of Game Pass now.
Yeah. Now now a follow-up was announced many years later because this first game was 2008.
Yes.
And then the sequel was slated for 2016. Although, basically, there was this one vague trailer they put out with Faith getting tattoos, and people were not sure, is this a sequel, is this a reboot, what is it? Ended up being a reboot. So it means, like, the first game is sort of, like, could almost be regarded as, like, a weird alternate version. Like, because the stories are similar yet not related. Like, there's elements here and there, Faith has a sister, she's running through the city. She has runner pals, who aren't very well developed. A villain. You're not twirling a mustache this time. He looks more like Daniel Craig. In this game, I don't remember what he looked like in the previous. All I remember about the previous was there was a boss where he was like a wrestler called Ropeburn.
Yes.
And he was very easy. That's all I know. So yeah, this game, instead of being also with the narrative, I wasn't emotionally attached to anyone, and then with the plot, you can pick up like audio devices and recorders that people just leave around. And there was one that actually spoils a plot point before you get to it.
Oh.
I won't say what, because even though the story is pretty threadbare, I want to leave it vague because, in case anyone wants to play it, because it's still worth playing just for the gameplay and city alone. Basically the plot point then kicked in, and then Faith was like, "Yeah, I know." It's like, wait, what did I miss? It's so strange, and there's like a lot of characters trying to be funny but not really working. It's sort of like sterile, but it's not like offensively bad or anything. Just sort of like, it's there. You could have had a bit more punch, pretty much. But yeah. Anyway, the main hook is not the story. It's the gameplay, which you have about 15 main missions, and instead of it being a linear campaign, because I don't know how long the original game was, I remember it was relatively short. This one's a full open world of rooftops to run around on.
Yes.
Which is immediately like, that's what that series needed. Whereas Thief made no sense to make open world. This does, and it's much better off for it. Because some of the navigation can be kind of confusing at times, because you're given essentially something called runner's vision, where objects will turn red. But the default setting actually makes it a little too easy in places where there's literally a screen telling you where to go.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's a red screen, but you can turn it off to classic, or off entirely if you would just want to go with like no runner's vision at all. Because the classic version is what I had it switched to most. I never had it on modern because I was just like, well, I want to find paths for myself, but then you do occasionally need it because some paths are not exactly obvious, because there's some pipes that look like you should be able to climb on them, but other times not. Like you can climb on a thin pipe but not a thick pipe. It's that sort of logic. But yeah, this city it's not like huge, but it's pretty. It looks great. It's extensively nice looking because I was playing it and my brother and sister came in and they were like kind of just sort of watching me play, just witnessing the visuals. I was like, yeah, no, it's aesthetically very nice. I don't know what else I'd compare it to aside from the first game, because I don't think anything else really looks like it. I mean, would you have any examples?
Not really. It, like, even now, it's kind of just the. Well, like, I always call Mirror's Edge the speedrunning game because literally it's like designed for that.
Yeah.
It is the perfect game to kind of introduce someone that doesn't even know what speedrunning is. It's the perfect game to like introduce them to. It has like everything, literally, and it's very simple. It is just hardcore first-person running challenges. It's a first-person platformer. Like there are games in first person that have that element. I think of Dying Light, for example.
Yeah, that's the only other one I can think of. Then there was Brink, which I never played, but I saw in Poundland a lot.
I never played it. I only have a faint memory of the box art. I thought it looked cool, and I never picked it up.
Nope. And I think the servers are offline, so I don't think you can even play it because it was on Windows.
Yeah, it's basically a glorified coaster at this point.
Yeah. Actually, the only other game I can think of with some sort of wall running mechanic is Titanfall 2, which I just started playing. Also an EA game.
Oh, that's good, honestly.
That's fun. Yeah, that's the only one I can think with extensive wall running, and it's like, yeah, that's nice. But anyway, so yeah, and it's a pretty seamless world. The only like loading screens I can think of are when you die, which, you know, that can be a bit of pain in the ass. It's like, oh, I didn't know that pit was there, but that's fine. Basically, it doesn't take you too long, but it can sort of zap you out of it for that brief moment. And for some reason, they cut out the crunch noise that played when you died, because that was really visceral.
Yeah.
I guess they thought it was too visceral for that sort of game. It's just like, you know, you still have Faith's heavy breathing as she's like falling towards, and it's like, whoa, jeez, it's like,
yeah, it's
sort of like nothing else like it.
Yeah.
And also in this one, you can pull back the. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's kind of scary when you fall in the original game.
And also, you can pull back the FOV, which I've never seen on a console game. And
oh yeah, that's rare. Well, it's less rare now. Honestly, I see that a lot more recently, but yeah, it's still kind of amazing whenever if you're playing a game on a console to see that.
And I didn't discover you could do that or turn off the HUD until like 80% into the game, in which case I was like, oh no, I'm doing this. Because it's just so surreal doing that. It's just like, yeah, like if you really wanted it immersive, it's got your options. What else is there? So yeah, and also on top of your regular moveset, you know, jumping, wall running, climbing, and also like being able to like bounce off walls almost. You have a grappling hook this time. It's like something called mag something.
Yeah,
it's fun. But you don't get it until like midway into the game. And there's like you just kind of given bits and pieces throughout the story. But it actually adds well to the navigation options, even though it's probably not as extensively used as you'd hope. You could use it to swing across gaps and other areas, and there's a zip up option on you actually attach to security cameras, like floating security cameras to like pull up, and it's quite fun. Sometimes you won't spot the hooks until like literally the last second, but that kind of adds to the fun almost, depending on the area you're in. But yeah, no, that's a great addition because it just makes sense to have that, and also you can use it to pull off panels blocking your way. Although they're very situational, where you won't know they were there until it points them out and like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was even an obstacle.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's great. You know, it's a great addition, and they did omit guns though, which, to be fair, in the first one, did you ever use the guns much?
No.
Okay.
Barely.
I know I did because things like the parking lot level I thought were impossible without guns. I just thought you had to shoot everyone.
Oh.
That's how I thought it was built, but apparently I've seen people get past and I'm like, how? I mean, if I tried it now, maybe I would actually. But yeah, I think.
Okay. Oh my god, yeah. I actually totally forgot about that one moment. Yeah, there is like one section I do remember where like near the end of the first Mirror's Edge where you just have to use guns, and this is my least favorite part of the game. And
I know it's beatable without them, but I'm thinking how, because it looks like you should be. Because otherwise, it's like everyone just keep. But every other part of the game, yeah, it's perfectly feasible to just do it non-gun. And in this, it focuses on hand-to-hand combat, which it works, but enemies are completely stupid, but also relentless, and they can feel persistent. It's weird because okay, you can kick enemies into one another because there's like, you have sideways kicks, you have punches, leaping off walls, which actually does more damage, which is quite fun. And you can land on them from like a high height, and when you defeat them, their visors smash, which is very satisfying. So it kind of adds that extra punch. It's like, oh yeah, I'm actually doing damage to these guys. But you can make enemies crash into one another, and they just immediately ragdoll. Because they like in the instruction, in the little loading tips, they say, oh, enemies will try not to hit each other. So they try to catch each other, but they just end up like falling over one another, and sometimes just completely going kaput. They'll get stuck in walls, which is pretty funny most of the time. It's not like extensively glitchy, but basically if you're near a wall and you're fighting an enemy, chances are they're going to get stuck in like a doorway or like fall down something. Or it's not even like Faith is trying to be non-lethal. You can kick enemies off roofs and they'll just like disappear into the ether. Yeah, so because I think you can do that in the first Mirror's Edge, although again, yes. I think that they up the enemy count.
I mean, like the first Mirror's Edge literally is like the biggest downfall of that game is combat. Whenever the game is like, oh no, I want you to fight someone or that mini boss, where literally it's like you gotta make sure that you hit this person right. It's the worst part. It just does not do that at all.
You're kind of given you are given like a stun glove. When you build up momentum, you gain like a meter, and then you can use it like to stun enemies, which is helpful, especially on the more irritating ones. But it's just like what makes you wonder how, because levels are mostly built around running past them, but there are some times where you have to fight, and it's because there's like one time where there's like a hallway just full of enemies, and it feels both clumsy yet really funny to just take them all down, even though it feels like you shouldn't play that way. Because I don't think there's even a difficulty select. In this one.
I was gonna ask you about that.
No, like I think it's like just one difficulty. It's not like the last one where I think there's like easy, medium, hard. Again, I'll have to play it again to find out. But yeah, no, there's no difficulty slider, just an FOV slider. That's the only one I can think of. But yeah, no, and yeah, mentioning the open world again. So like gameplay, absolutely fine. It works what it is. Can take a little while to get to. Now the open world serves side missions as well, and there's a variety of them. There's delivery missions and billboard hacks. Billboard climbing works fine because Assassin's Creed towers.
Yeah,
it's a bit like a little more pointless because all it does is really earn you XP, which is fine, or trophy. But there's one set in the dark, and it's almost impossible to look unless you like turn up the contrast.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only one. And also there's another one involving grappling to a certain point where if you actually launch off the top end of your grapple, you'll actually die from the impact, so you actually have to launch low. That can be frustrating to figure out. But that's only 2 billboards out of like, there's not many really. It's not like Ubisoft levels of putting things in an open world just for the sake of it. There's a lot of ones that you can just avoid after a while because there's 2 types of delivery missions. There's regular, delivered from machines that sound a bit like GLaDOS, but like not funny. Like they try to have like this funny dialogue, and it's like, oh, delivery mission, did you get it? Thank you. It's just like, it kind of gets annoying, like running past these machines, like asking, like begging you to go on them, and it's like, no, thank you. Like you just run past them to ignore them. And the other side missions, which are similar, are fragile delivery, meaning you can't break the item. Otherwise, you just deliver it to the person broken, at which point you may as well just restart. So rolling on the ground is required a lot. But the worst part about it... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, it's like, man, they really should have took the time and had a mission where you just delivered pizzas.
That would have been fucking awesome. Rooftop pizza delivery, yeah, because, yeah, you can't roll. You have to like, yeah, because if you roll, you damage the pizza. So yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, just land on all the soft pads which are inexplicably placed around. But basically the worst part about these fragile delivery missions is the time limit. It's like for super pro players. I think that's why they didn't have a difficulty select, because clearly those bits are like lethally hard. You the actual trick is not to follow the main path. It's to follow. Some of these just feel impossible without a guide. Like you have to just not follow the main path, but follow a different path.
Not a guide, but this is like you just trying over and over and over again until you realize the correct way, and then
because you don't follow the red line leading you somewhere. No, follow it, but only sometimes, and that's frustrating. And the thing is, you actually don't have to do them. There's no trophies linked to them, because all they are to do.
Why?
Yeah, you don't need to do these frustrating missions. So when I found that, because I don't even play for trophies, and I was just like, well, I don't need to do these, so they can screw off. Because I thought they were part of the side missions, but no, the side missions are separate. So basically, and also mentioning that, you actually level up too fast. Like, I got all of the gadgets 70% into the game, because the game's relatively short still. So after a while, those missions became completely pointless, because there's actually better ways to earn XP, so that's the only flaw I could say. Try the early delivery missions, and then forget the rest, because you're just going to get frustrated and not have fun, basically. So I can't believe I'm telling you that you have to avoid missions to have fun. It's stupid as well. Because mentioning the billboards, there's a weird like online aspect linked to them. You can customize a logo apparently, but you can't customize it in the game. You have to go to the Mirror's Edge website, which doesn't work anymore because it directs to EA's website.
Aww.
Yeah. Or you can use the app. Apparently, I don't know. I don't want to log in with EA or whatever the hell it uses. The default logo is fine, but yeah. But you can customize your Echo, which can be seen by other players, because a thankful addition, you can actually make your own races.
Oh.
Yeah, you can you make little checkpoint races, or like place little things called beat LEs or beetles, I don't know. Like basically just points saying, here I was. Like if you jump up, like someone actually put one in the highest point in the game, which requires you like crouching on a building at a certain angle and then wiggling the stick back and forth for like, I'm not kidding, like 10 hours.
Damn.
Someone did that because you can place this like obscure beat LE point up on the top of a crane where barely anyone will be able to get it, and I don't think they patched that out. And it's just like, yeah, so there hangs this point. I actually spotted it in the game, and I was like, how am I supposed to get up there? And then, I looked at the video later, it's like, oh, it's that guy who did it.
Aww.
So, like, yeah, one guy got up there, or maybe two, I don't know. But yeah, the races are fine, because I made a couple checkpoint races in pretty fun spots, mostly that were grapple heavy. But the main flaw is, if it's near another race, you can't make it. So you just have to, like, bounce around the map until you find a spot where you're allowed to make a map. Because, it doesn't make any sense as a mechanic. Like, sure, multiple people want to use the same spot. Why not? Like, they just worried people would spam it or something? And you can't even name them. They're just named after your username plus a number.
Okay.
Which is kind of lame, but yeah, it's a good use of community features, I guess, because it can be fun to try out that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, also what didn't help with this game was it was launched during because people are wondering why because I bought this game for £3. It didn't exactly do well when I think it was launched during the weekend of E3.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, because like. That explains it. Though honestly, what I just want to know is like, would you say just overall that the game is good?
It's
like,
it's good, bordering on very good.
Because like, I know people that have a lot of mixed opinions on the game. Some of us just outright hate it too. So
I heard that too.
Yeah, I would say it's good, but it has its caveats, like the side content which you don't need to do. Little
I
on top.
Side content is something don't, but it's more like side content that you literally shouldn't really waste your time on. Which is the worst type of
that's
side
not fun because delivery missions should be fun, and thankfully the ones from the machines are actually playable, but the ones from the NPCs, and the weirdest thing with the NPCs I forgot to mention was they're always there, as in when their missions are not there, like the every NPC model is like standing around before like a mission even like activates. So you're just running around and you see these people on rooftops just standing around. And when I first encountered one, I was like, who are you? I just like threw a punch and a kick and they did nothing. And also if you get into a gunfight around them, they don't react, they don't run away or anything or hide. So that sort of adds to like some of the weird staticness of it. It's not like game breaking at all, but it's just sort of like, why are you here? Like the machines were fine because at least you could ignore those and those are like part of the scenery. Because you know how stark the first game was with like, you didn't really run into anyone.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that sort of thing.
That kind of worked for the scope of the game. If you're gonna do like an open world, then then you need to have people to interact with.
Yeah, and there's people behind glass as well. Like there's like, okay, I passed this construction team, always doing construction, no matter what time of day it was. Multiple times because there's like several routes that pass through that area, and it's like they never see you, and it's like I'm just like, man, they're really dedicated to construction work, or they're supposed to be really good headphones to like block out bullet noises and such. So that's the thing, a little bit of NPC reaction aside from like one segment, would have like kind of gone a long way, honestly, in terms of like making things feel more alive. But yeah, overall, I'd say. Yeah, next to Dying Light, I can't think of many first-person running games, and even then with Dying Light, that's like, half combat, half thing, which this is too, but like the running is the more important emphasis, on top of like its minimalist aesthetic. So the story, you can watch it and be pretty entertained. There's some great set pieces though, especially involving the grapple later on, which I won't spoil, but yeah, it's just sort of that things like once you're done with it, it's like I'll probably play that later, but it's not like I don't think it's caught on as much with speedrunners because of course you've got the open world. I mean, thankfully you can replay missions because there's surprisingly I'm actually surprised how many open world games don't allow you to replay story missions. Yeah, like you have Saints Row, you have Infamous, Infamous Second Son. I'll briefly mention this. That game should have had New Game Plus. Like, I'm actually disappointed that game didn't. But no, Mirror's Edge, thankfully, you can replay missions because you can find things like bags and such. Or I don't think there's any real like high scores to beat, but like unlike the first game. In fact, actually no. Like another thing it lacks compared to the first is there was like a minimalist map you could get on the PS3 version where it was like cubes you could leap over. More of that, please.
Yeah, I remember those.
Like. It needed more surreal maps, like imagine like a Mario Sunshine with Mirror's Edge engine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I ever decide to, I don't know.
If you see it on sale,
if you see it on sale, then I'll probably.
Yeah, I got it for $3.59.
I did like the first one.
Yeah, I got it for $3.59. That was worth it.
I do know. So, like I said before, it is part of Game Pass now because Game Pass now has. Deal with like EA, so you get all the EA games with it too. So I might just do that since I do that.
Yeah. Is the first one available on Game Pass?
Yes, it is.
Nice. Yes.
It should be.
So yeah, aim yourself for a double dip, even though the games only connect aesthetically and not story-wise. But you're not in it for the story; you're in for the free running. So yes, a good deal.
Gotcha.
Nice. Anyway, that's out of my system.
So from one open world game to I guess another.
All right, so I guess that leaves me as the last one to talk about their picks. And for my pick, it's only one game, but it's part of a series that I've talked about here before on the show twice, and I guess with this one it's gonna be the third time. And this one is gonna be Yakuza Kiwami 2. This one was released in originally released in 2017 in Japan, and later worldwide it was released in 2018, 2019 for PC, and 2020 on Xbox One. It was published by Sega and developed by the IGG Studio. This game, let's see. So yeah, this game is a remake of the original Yakuza 2, which was released in 2006 on the PlayStation 2.
I'm so happy more people got it now on other formats, because it's cool that it was PS4, because a lot of people had PS4, but now it's on PC. I'm just happy it's reaching a wider audience now, and the Xbox One.
Definitely.
Yeah, 'cause did the Xbox One get physical copies, or was it just through download?
I'm not sure, because I don't
think I've seen an Xbox One case. I'll have to look that up, actually.
I think it.
But either way, hey, most people use Game Pass or whatever, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm glad it's getting more people get to play this one. The Yakuza series in general. Anyway. So the story is set a year after the events of Yakuza Kiwami. The game is set a year after the events of Yakuza Kiwami, like I said, in which Kazuma Kiryu, the main protagonist of the series, is once again pulled back into the world of the Yakuza after the current chairman of the Tojo clan, the clan Kiryu was part of, approached him to help him prevent an all-out war between the clan and their rival in Western Japan, the Omi Alliance. And so he goes into a quest to prevent this war from happening, while trying to save the Tojo clan from falling apart. And there's also another plot involving a Korean criminal organization that has a bone to pick with the Tojo clan after being nearly wiped out by them many years ago. It becomes important later on in the main story, but So yeah, it's your typical like I said, serious crime drama as you expect from the Yakuza games. And it has a lot of twists and turns that some you might see coming from miles away. Others, some you can see it coming, but other times it's like, yeah, I saw that one coming. No, wait, no. Some of them you can see them coming miles away, and other than like, wait, what? Stuff like that.
It's great at that.
Yeah. So.
Because I finished. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I finished the original PS2 version. I'm like a partial way into Kiwami 2. I haven't got to Majima Construction yet, so I know I'm probably missing something there.
Because Majima Construction is like one of the, it's a midpoint.
Yeah, I'm barely.
Not even midpoint. Barely
Yeah.
midpoint.
No, it's honestly because like the previous Yakuzas, there's so much side stuff to do. It's like, yeah, this is fun. I'll actually do it. There's the. Well, I'll let you say that.
We'll get there. We'll get there later. Okay. So the gameplay, it's like you expect. Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Since we're still on the story part of it.
Yeah.
Not going to any spoilers for obvious reasons,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, did you like it better than 1? Just the story. Just talking about the story.
I liked it, but honestly, I think Kiwami kind of edges it out a little bit. Kiwami 1. Not saying that 2 is horrible. No, 2 is great.
Okay, because I'm the opposite. I am the opposite. I actually really love Kiwami 2, like, a lot. It is personally one of my favorites.
Oh, I see.
That was me with the PS2 version. Like, where I thought, like, I enjoyed, because the PS2 version's a very different experience, because since 1 had, English voice acting with Mark Hamill as Majima and other weird casting choices, suddenly going to the Japanese only of PS2, Yakuza was like, wow, this is how it's supposed to be, and I think I kind of gravitated it towards it more because of that. Like, there was no, like, janky voice acting to deal with this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was happy.
Anyway, as you were saying about the English.
Yeah. Like I said, the story we're talking about, it's great. Still prefer Kiwami 1, but I still like Kiwami 2. It's great. Nonetheless. Anyway, when it comes to gameplay, it's an action adventure game set in open world like setting. Not open world, like open world setting. It's like I said, it's it's not in a big city. It's like in a big district, or districts, as in the case for this game, with a lot of stuff to do. Oh, and also, there's the occasional 3D brawling segments, which is like a standard for most of the Yakuza games. We get to beat up thugs and the Yakuza and stuff like that.
With no load times.
With no load times, yeah, that's important. It's
so much snappier. Because if you ever played PS2 Yakuza, which I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yeah. So like you had to wait.
Yes.
To get into fights, and it's like it's so nice just to be there.
Yeah, it's especially for Kiwami 2. It's a lot more snappier. It happens right at the spot. Immediately it starts. So yeah, it's pretty seamless. For the combat, now here's the I'm gonna be doing a little bit of comparison between Kiwami and Kiwami 2, because the combat is like if you're talking standard, it's almost exactly the same, because you punch with square, you kick with the triangle, you grab with circle, you dodge with X, when there's the occasional heat action. But here's the thing with Kiwami 2: if you played Kiwami 2 right after Kiwami 0 and Kiwami 1, you're gonna get a little bit of a whiplash, something like that, because this game was made on the
yeah, I know what you talk about.
Yeah, this game was made with the IGG Studios' latest engine. It's called the Dragon engine, and while the game looks,
I love the engine.
Yeah, the game is great. The game visually looks great, but at the cost of the frame rate, because this game runs at on console at least runs at 30 FPS as opposed to 60, like with the previous game.
Really? I never knew that. Oh, crap.
I honestly didn't notice. I'm terrible at noticing frame rates because I'm so used to 30.
Yeah,
I guess.
I played this on my PS.
So whenever I see 60, I'm like, whoa, what's this fastness?
Yeah, because I played this on my Pro PS4, and yeah, it runs at.
Oh, I only have a standard. That's why.
Yeah. 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 It's not a.
It played fine from what I tried. So,
I played I played the PC version, and I think that is 60, or at least can be 60.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I had no idea it had that. Oh man, even on the Pro, like really? Dang, that sucks.
I don't even know what a PS4 Pro is like, aside from it being faster. I've only ever experienced PS4 games in standard hardware. I don't have a 4K screen, so.
But it has that compatibility.
Yeah. Okay. It's not a deal breaker to me, but it's kind of a bit sucky in my opinion. Anyway, the most important thing about back to combat. So if you play this game right after 0 and Kiwami 1, you'll notice a difference. Kiryu's the styles, the fighting style switching from 0 and Kiwami has been dropped, unfortunately, and you can only play as with Kiryu. You can only play as his dragon style, but it's not even the same from like 0 and Kiwami 1. It's like kind of different. Yeah, even when you fully upgrade it, like there's like heat.
Basically, a combination of everything. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. Combination.
Kind of
different.
Kinda, but not really, because I really miss using the what is it called? The Switch one? The Rush style. Yeah, I miss the Rush style. Yeah, that was my favorite style. I
miss Majima's Breaker style.
Oh no, well Majima had the best styles. I mean, we can all agree.
Yeah. But we'll get to him later. So yeah, for the most, it's kind of disappointing, but it's not a you'll get used to it, later on. But yeah, I recommend if you're gonna play Kiwami 2, like right after Kiwami 1, don't do that. Give it a rest. Because
I immediately did, and I immediately how much more physics there were.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a lot more.
Because,
That's the engine working. It's magic.
I don't know how to describe it. It's weird because you go from Kiwami 1 where everything feels very like you feel like your feet are grounded, is the way I describe it. Then you go to Kiwami 1, it's like so much zippier and faster, and like the first time I walked through.
Right?
Yeah, I played a bit of Kiwami 2. Again, not up to Majima Construction, sadly. I should play more, but I have too many games. The weirdest thing was, like, I was shocked actually being able to walk through a building. Like, upstairs, downstairs, on the roof. I was like, wait, what? I'm allowed to do this? Like, this is allowed in the game, and also being able to, like, smash through windows.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Like, inside. You can fight inside the chicken places. You can fight above. It's like so much more open, and it's so weird. And that's
Kiwami
gonna be
1 didn't have like even Kiwami 1, like not just original 1, but Kiwami 1 was kind of still kind of restricted a little bit. In Zero, I mean, like, okay, they still had, you know, like indoor fights, but it was always kind of like a story reason or a separate. You were kind of boxed in for those fights. This is like literally you can take the fights inside if the area allows it. Like,
and then if you're fighting inside the Smile restaurants, they'll tell you off for doing so, and they say don't come back, yet you will.
Oh yeah, you will always come back.
You always come back. You know, they'll repair their windows and they'll be like, yeah, it's Kiryu. You know, it's just what happens.
Yeah, because this game was Kiwami 2 was made right after Yakuza 6, so they share the same engine and the same.
6 has the same sort of same gameplay.
That's gonna
just
be
like how Kiwami 1 and 0 have the same, except Kiwami 1 dropped the whole using money as a way to upgrade yourself, which I didn't like in 0. It's like the one thing I really didn't like in 0.
Yeah.
Because it just.
But
that's gonna be so jarring whenever I get round, because I got the trilogy bundle, because it took like a few months to arrive. Huh?
The remaster trilogy, or the
yes, because I own 3 and 4 on PS3, but I did, but 5 never came out on a disc, so I that's why I immediately hopped on it, and it came with a little PS3 case of 5 as like a little collector's item, which was nice.
Yes.
But that's going to be so weird going from, you know, the Kiwami engines, then 2.
Oh yeah, I can tell you that.
And then
I'm
back again to 6.
Right now, and
that's going to be so weird because I liked 3, 4, and 5 when I played them, but that's going to be such a weird like leap back and then 4. So that's the only weird inconsistency. Again, 2 is great with 6's engine, but it's just like it's like a leap into the future and then back to the past again.
Yeah.
But like both engines are fine. They work for what they do, but it's like that's like anyone playing these in order for the first time, that's going to be weird. I mean, again, I'm it's not as jarring for me considering I've played PS2 and then going from, you know, the PS2's Kiwami PS2's 2 to PS3's 3 was like a leap, but a different sort of leap. It's hard to determine.
But yeah, anyway,
enough engines.
Well, for you, Serial, what did you think of the combat flow overall in like Kiwami 2? Because like that's something. Because I know you're talking about a little before. There is no styles switching, which I mean I do kind of miss in 0, but I never really used the styles in Kiwami 1 as much. Because once you just upgrade the one that the dragon from with using Majima everywhere,
yes,
then that just became my default. I just never switched after that. So I found like them just making, okay, we're gonna simplify it to just having it 1, so you just don't have it to be super like all this complexity. You can just be simplified and just have your base upgrade. I was like, okay, I'm fine with that, but I do understand like the thrill of just like, oh, switching it up mid combat is fun, and that's kind of gone.
Yeah, I do miss the style switching, but I understand. But at the end of the day, I understand why. Because you have the games like Yakuza 3 and 4. The other one going forward. All of these didn't have style switching, so I can kind of get like why story reason, I think. But yeah.
Because in Kiwami 1, I mostly stuck to the fastest style.
Rush.
And then would switch. I don't think... Yeah, Rush. I don't think I sometimes use Beast, and then other times... I don't think I really upgraded Dragon fully, because I never really did all of Majima everywhere. I kind of got sick of it after a while, but that's just me.
I did it.
I mean, a lot of people do. There's like...
I was just like... I was at the end of the game...
People that really like it, and people that just can't stand.
On a second playthrough, since I'm more fully upgraded, I think I'd actually tackle all of it. But at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm near the end of the story. I'll just finish this off. I want to get to 2. That's just me. But yeah, at least New Game Plus exists, so at least that's not as daunting a task the second time around.
And there's also the premium adventure mode where you get to play all the side stuff on your freely without any story missions to get in the way.
I don't know what was the first Yakuza game to add that. I know 3 had it, but I don't know if it was.
But I think it actually started from game 1.
Did it start from game 1? Dang. Okay.
Yeah, no, I when I played it fully, it said premium now unlocked.
Okay, so okay, cool. It was always a thing.
Yeah, no, it always had it. I still have my save data from the very first one.
Just honestly, that is probably the coolest thing about Yakuza. They understand that most people probably not want to do all the side stuff before they finish the game, quote unquote, and will probably just like want to do it like after the story. So
I'm the opposite, because I always do the side stuff before any main story missions. Like I do them as I do them. But then the only things
there are also certain stuff there are also certain sub stories you can just flat out miss.
Yes.
So if you missed any, then yeah, okay, that's okay. Yeah, so that's now I see the appeal. Because I was wondering, what does it do? Yeah, because I think because the only side stuff I ever avoided doing in some Yakuza games was always gambling and mostly the dating, because I just didn't understand it.
Oh yeah.
I get it, but I just didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we talk about the side activities.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we talked combat, so let's talk okay, the level up system. Let's see. So so for Yakuza Kiwami 2, they dropped the whole skill tree system. They just made it into like a lists like battle.
There's kind of that, because sometimes you need to get moves before you can get other moves, but yeah, it's not as like literally like a skill tree.
Yeah, they dropped that.
Because it's not a circle this time, I don't think.
Yes. And also
that circle was intimidating.
Yeah, all the business, the business, also that goes for the business upgrades. All of it, you get to unlock it from that leveling up system. There's no Bob guy, like that clown guy that you have to talk to, so you can redeem your CP points. Him. Yeah, he's not in the game. He sends you messages, but that's about it. Like, you don't have to talk to him, so you like to redeem your CP points.
Yeah, I think I used him the most in Kiwami 1, but that was it.
Yeah, everything.
Sort of forgot he was there.
Yeah, everything you can unlock using your using the XP they got. Everything using your XP.
Straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and when you yeah, go ahead.
Something I was gonna briefly mention about combat I forgot about was mentioning the whole. I'll briefly mention this: the interactivity with environments. You can pretty much like throw people off bridges or like stairwells.
Yes.
Like that's like how crazy I forgot that completely, because it's that whole feeling of just not knowing, are you supposed to do this or not? Because, like, you know, Kiryu never kills anyone.
Oh, definitely.
No, he doesn't throw people off bridges. They're fine. They got a life buoy down there.
Yeah.
Legit, he has never killed anybody. And I know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I literally used a gun because you can.
They
do
have
that.
rubber bullets.
Don't worry.
Oh, rubber
Don't
bullets.
worry.
They're
they
fine.
never died.
Yeah.
They're
Definitely.
blanks, even though there's blood gushing.
Oh no! Those they scratched themselves. They didn't cause the bullets to.
Yeah.
They later apologized.
They bonked their head.
Yeah, they later apologized and gave you a silver plate or something. Yeah, they're all fine.
Always the silver plates.
Yeah,
did you have to did you end up like really selling a lot of stuff in this game to earn money? Because I felt in like, okay, in Zero money was the whole point, but in Kiwami sometimes I find I'd struggle to get a bit of money.
Yeah.
For like a purchase, whereas I think in 2 it was a little more balanced out. I got that feeling though. Again, I'm not extensively far in.
Yeah, we'll get to there. So we're talking about gaining XP. Yeah, you get that from side missions and main missions and businesses and stuff like that. You can later redeem for abilities and stuff and heat actions. For the side activities, like I said, like every Yakuza games, they're like sub stories. Karaoke, Coliseum fights, casino, all of these are back. Oh, but there's something for the arcades. This one I find it interesting. For Kiwami one, there's like this rock paper scissors games, like what's it called? Miss King, I think it's called. It's like the cat fight from Yakuza 0. Cat fight bits.
Oh, that bug fight. Yeah, that was okay. It was silly.
Yes.
Like anything else in the game, but I kind of got into it just for the side mission related to it. I wouldn't have done it casually otherwise.
Yeah, same here. Anyway.
Yeah, it was fun, but yeah.
Yeah, it was more refined cat fights from 0. But anyway, for the arcades in Kiwami 2. They decided to bring us more Sega arcade classics. This time from the 90s. So they got us for the arcades in Kiwami 2. You could play Virtual Fighter 2 and Virtual On.
I always thought it was Virtua On, but it's not virtual.
I should actually stress, this Kiwami 2 is the only way now, in terms of, like, unless you really want to go for an arcade unit and you can find it, that we can play Virtual On.
Really?
Yes. Oh. There was the reviewer, Rebel Taxi, who went out of his way to he just bought it just to play Virtual On, because the sequel apparently is available on Xbox Live.
Really?
But not the first one. Yeah, the first one, Kiwami 2, the only way you can play it. So basically, he rushed through the intro just to get to Virtual On for his review.
Oh,
that's his first Yakuza game.
And it was so funny. But like honestly, it's like because when I played Kiwami 2, I didn't even know about Virtual On, but you know, mechas. It was a cool fighting game, so. I tried it and I spent so much time on that.
Same.
Because it's freaking fantastic.
Same.
I need to try it again.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Because those controls, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. But at the same time, I'm like, how do I do this? Well, I understand how it works. Because, I mean, it'd be great to try an actual arcade cabinet. But, you know, there's no way in hell you're buying one of those.
Yeah.
Man, no, that series, like, Virtual On definitely needs some sort of revival. I think it really had something going, and it's a shame that it only got, like, 2 games.
Same with the...
Yeah, because, I mean...
Go ahead.
Yeah, because, again, aside from that, and it's, like, 360 port, which I think is Xbox One compatible, you know, I don't think you're able to really translate the dual stick controls, because from my knowledge, it's like a... what's that one Xbox game it reminds me of with the massive joystick? Even then, that was what was it? It was a mecha game as well, but it was by Capcom. That's all I know.
Steel Battalion.
Metal something. Steel Battalion. Yes.
Steel
But
Battalion.
basically, I'm just imagining a ridiculous Steel Steel Battalion type interface just for this one arcade game. I'm thinking,
So
Nope.
cool! Oh my god, imagine that. Oh, I want that. I want that now.
yeah, but still,
That, please.
ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I mean, the other arcade
That's
game
just
though.
a side thing. Honestly, it's like Kiwami 2 just has amazing side stuff you can just get lost in.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like Zero, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Virtual Fighter 2?
When I first played it, took me honestly, I was a little shocked about how different it is from because if no one knows, I'm the only 3D fighting game series I'm into is Tekken, and when I played Virtual Fighter, I was like, wow, this plays nothing like Tekken. Because
I kind of hated it when I tried it.
yes, when I first played it, I was like,
Like,
yeah.
me and my brother
Same.
played it together, and we were like, "What the hell are these controls?" Playing alone, I grew to hate the character Lion because he's relentless and doesn't make any sense attack pattern wise. Like, it's like, how did people beat this? And I was playing the improved version because you get like a 2.0 version.
Yeah, it's
or 1.0, whatever.
2.0.
It's just some sort of upgraded version.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
this
how
character
did
balance
people play this?
different.
But hey, I guess it's cool. It's cool that it's there because the only other version I played was the Mega Drive version on a PSP.
Oh.
Yeah, that version,
Dang.
and where you get to hear Pies laugh like this.
Oh.
So imagine that in 8-bit, no 16-bit.
Oh yeah. The only thing I got
Yeah.
the only like winning pose I got sick of hearing was the one by Leon. Is it Leon? Lion? How to go?
Lion.
Yeah. Like, what did he say? I'm trying to remember. I don't make a habit of beating the elderly. I got
That
Oh, yeah.
repeated
yes.
way too much.
Yes.
So that's why I grew to hate him. That's why fuck Lion.
Yeah,
Did you ever beat Lion?
I did.
All my homies beat
But-
Lion.
Good. Okay, someone did.
Barely.
I couldn't.
Barely.
Yeah. But yeah, Virtua On, good. Virtua Fighter 2, bad, in my opinion.
I only played Virtua Fighter 2 just because to get the CV points where you have to play as all the characters. That's it.
Well, that's fine. Hey, at least it gives you something to do that, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty awesome that. I mean, yeah, because every Yakuza game has a different, like, arcade experience. Pretty much. Like, it goes from original games to emulated stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's just a great excuse to put that stuff in.
Yeah. So yeah, and like you said, it was great to to experience these classics. Especially after I thought the Kiwami, what Kiwami 1 had to offer on in the arcades was a bit disappointing.
Remind me what it was.
100%.
I can't remember.
The Miss King, the one the bug.
Oh, that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot already.
Yeah, it's that forgettable.
Kiwami 1 honestly didn't really have a lot of side, just in general. I didn't think had a lot of good side activity stuff.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
at least things that, but
It was
outside of the card, the mini card stuff is pretty cool.
mini cart.
No, not mini card. The go, the like.
Oh, I never beat that.
Oh yeah. The pocket circuit racing. Yeah, that's
Pocket
the.
circuit, that's
Which
what it was
does
called.
return?
In Kiwami 1, yes. In Kiwami 2, no. Unfortunately. And
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I never beat it in 0 and I never beat it in Kiwami 1, so basically it acted like I beat it, and I was like, yeah, I sure did. I got all the right parts.
Yeah, what did
It was fun, but it was just like, how many parts do you have to grind for? It was stupid for me. But
It was
there's probably a guide out there.
It was addicting. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed they didn't bring it back for Kiwami 2. What is Ethan?
Yeah, but you know what they did bring back in Kiwami 2?
What?
The thing from Kiwami 0. That's right, the club.
Oh.
Oh!
I liked that one, surprisingly.
We'll get there.
I'm surprised how much I liked it.
We'll get there. We'll get there when we talk to
Yeah,
when we talk to businesses. Yeah, let's briefly talk about back to the mini games. So, like I said, there's darts, which is a little different. Batting cages, golf. The golf one is the golf is all right. Mahjong and shogi, I didn't bother too much with them. I only played them just to get the what a player trophy. What is it they call it? Pool. They didn't bring back pool for Kiwami 2, and I was disappointed because I loved playing pool.
I was really happy when I think it was did they have darts in Kiwami 2? Because I was so happy beating Majima at darts. Like finally, it took me so long because I'm terrible at it in real life as well.
Yeah, the darts is in Kiwami 2.
Nice, yeah, because that was actually fun, and I was like, yeah, this is cool.
It plays a little different, but yeah, it's there. Same with the batting cages. Nice. The batting cages.
Yeah, batting cages. Batting cages, I'm always like slightly off with because it's like it's the timing of the swinging. I know there's like a method to it, but I was just like, where's the ball? Okay, there it is. Okay, because I didn't realize you could actually aim. I thought you just had to press the button. I think because I didn't read the instructions properly.
Yeah, that's
a fault on my part. The game's fine. That mini game. It's
a little challenging, but once you get the hang of it, yeah, it's all right. Let's see what else. Oh, and they also, when it comes to mini games, they introduced something called Bouncer missions. It's in the
those hard as hell.
Hard as hell when you talk about the last three.
I haven't got to those. I'm talking about early ones I was on, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
what am I doing?
Yes, for the early ones, it's really just a matter of make sure you're prepared and like you really just know like use weapons help and
buy all the health drinks.
Yeah, but
just have health drink.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah. Obviously,
you can't. Ones.
Yeah, the one with the with you know who. Yeah, those are really hard. Like, you've probably seen my Twitter when I beat the last one. You know, I was gonna ask this. Is this what it's like beating a Dark Souls boss? Because I was screaming when I finally beat the last mission.
I would not know. I've never beat a single Dark Souls boss. I have it, and I'm like, is this game actually beatable? That's me when it comes to Souls games.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, like okay, the first few missions, yeah, you can beat them while your eyes are closed. They're not that hard, but when I think it's like 50 or something like that. There's a lot of them. Like there's like
there is a lot.
Yeah,
but they do get you really good stuff though.
Yeah,
so it's worth it. Trust me, it is. It's very much worth it.
Yeah,
I like what I tried of them, so I want to play more.
Yeah, there's like a battle when you beat all of them. There's like a battle skill that you unlock. It's called Essence of the Brawling God. It makes you it fills your heat gauge when you do a taunt. Fills it immediately.
Like all the way.
Yes.
And it's really useful. Except that it's one of those things like, man, this is super useful, but also if you're by that point, you probably are almost done with the game.
Yeah. So, that's probably gonna be me when I do that, so yeah.
Yeah. Same thing when you unlock the Essence of Batting, which is in the batting, which is you unlock by you get it by gaining 2,000 points in the batting cages, but it takes forever to get 2,000 really. Because I unlocked this one during Premium Adventure, so I was pretty much done. So I only did it just because I wanted to do it. But when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to like there's not much use I can get out of it. I just did it just for the sake of it. So yeah, bouncer missions starts easy, ends really tough as hell at the end. Just look up a guide on YouTube to know what's the perfect set of armor and weapons you need, and you'll be fine. It just needs a little bit more patience.
I just find armor like sometimes. If I actually one thing I do like about other Yakuza games and these ones is that if you have save data from previous games, you get little bonuses.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like the most... Sometimes I don't end up using some of the items, but they're just nice to have. Like, in case. Like, in the... Like, sometimes I think you're given a weapon.
Especially early on. Like, really helpful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's just a nice thing to do so. In fact, when I played the demo of Judgment, I got, like, 50,000 yen from just having a Yakuza game save data on my hard drive.
Oh, nice.
Which is a bunch at this point. So yeah, no, yeah, but that's like another story. Again, I only played the demo, so I like what I tried of that one.
Oh.
Too. So at least I know they're still going strong.
Yeah. So oh yeah, and there's
what other points?
What else? Oh yeah, and there's also when it comes to vendors. There's like vendors scattered around the both areas in the game, and both Kamurocho and Sotenbori. Because I forgot to mention this. Just like with Yakuza 0, this game is set in 2 locations: Kamurocho and Sotenbori. And when it comes to structure, they're almost the same from 0, with little differences here and there. But there's also like both.
Sotenbori have more water.
Yes, because it's a.
Yeah, okay, that's how I remember it. It's the city area with more water. That's for me.
Yep.
There's also like vendors scattered around this in both areas, where they sells all kinds of drinks, and some of them give you like special abilities, like increase your attack power or draws more enemies and stuff like that. Gives you enough temporary buffs, is I think what we can describe it. Yeah, but there's also
it's definitely worth it too, especially if you're gonna do.
Yeah.
For some like later in the game, it definitely is worth it.
Oh yeah. I think they introduced those in Yakuza 6, but in 6 you can only take like one drink and drink it in real time, and that's about it. You can't store it.
Did you ever play Sleeping Dogs? That had a very similar system, actually.
Yeah.
You eat foods, and then you get like a temporary like buff of some sort.
Yakuza 7 does that too, although it serves like 3 purposes, and you have to make a combo meal and to get a certain buff, and then also do some other stuff. But yeah, so it's expanded upon in that game.
Combo. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When there's
but
also...
like 7's entirely different beast, and I don't want to get into that.
Yeah. Because
no, I know literally zero about that game aside from initial thoughts, but yeah, I haven't finished 6 yet, so it requires me playing through all of these ones again just to get to 6. Then eventually like a Dragon, which I know I'll love, but one thing at a time.
Oh yeah, and like with the previous games, if you played a Yakuza game, you're probably familiar with this. You can go to restaurants and order meals, and not only they refill your health if it's low, it also gives you XP points. So it's encouraged to go to every restaurant you can and order everything. And sometimes when you order certain food, you get a combo, like Ethan says, and that gives you even more XP points.
Yeah, because I think I only end up ever going to restaurants and ordering like pretty much everything off the menu if I'm like super injured, which just doesn't happen all that often. But if I'm like midway through, I'm like, you know what, I won't use a health drink. I'm just gonna go to this restaurant, and sometimes there's like the little is there like a friendship meter in this one, or was there in any of the other Yakuzas? I can't recall. I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
it's like
we're like there's a friendship meter in 7 for sure. There's like a bond.
Right. Oh, Judgment had that too. No, that's what I'm thinking of, because
yeah, I think of the Judgment because
yeah. I know there was some sort of thing where if you ate like a certain combo of food in
Haruka.
Oh yeah.
Haruka's Trust. Which
Haruka's
is an entire other thing.
Yeah, that returns from Kiwami 1. But in Kiwami, in Kiwami 2, there's no friendship meter or something like that. But you get to befriend you get to befriend a few pedestrians in both areas of the game. That when you befriend, when you befriend them, you can later unlock special heat actions that involves them.
Some of the best ones.
Yeah.
They literally are the best ones. The best ones are the ones that involve the pedestrians.
I think it's because they're random. The fact that it might surprise you where they pop up, so it's just like, yeah, that's cool. I've not even seen half of them.
They're not 100% random. They're always in certain locations.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so if you happen to get into that fight in that particular location,
it's more like an area. If you're in this area, then it'll be available.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My favorite is the one with the dominatrix.
Oh no, I think I unlocked her. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's a relatively early one. Although I don't think I've seen her heat action. I just know the characters there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever gotten into a fight in that particular area.
Early ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked how the side missions just sort of like they naturally encroach as well. Like, are you still? Because when you walk through, are you still like stopped by a cutscene? I'm trying to recall.
Yeah,
that
still happens. But there are, of course, others that you just have to like talk to them to initiate the side stuff.
Yeah, those are the more surprising ones because sometimes, you can just miss those. So yeah, premium is useful for that potentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I found the sub stories to be a lot better in Kiwami 2 compared to Kiwami 1.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know about you, but like, yeah, that was like definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I think that one, the one from Kiwami 2 is better, in my opinion. Yeah,
there's one that I didn't realize became a meme. I'm not gonna say what it is. I was just like, when I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
You might know the one.
Yeah.
It became a big meme, and I'm glad that wasn't spoiled for me because that actually enhanced the shock of it.
I actually played.
Like, it was fucking. All I can say is it's fucking surreal. But it's like, yeah, it's a Yakuza game.
Can I say its name?
What's name? Yeah, you go for it. I might recognize it.
Is it Be My Baby?
Yes. Yes. Don't say any more than that.
That does come back. By the way, it comes back in other Yakuza games.
Just like they started a weird.
A lot of sub stories, which you probably noticed too.
Yeah.
As you're going through them, a lot of them they'll have a reappearance in future games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well. So.
You know what?
That's good. At least they continue.
The baby stuff comes back. Trust me, it does.
Oh, because it's not the first time I saw it in Kiwami 2. I've seen it in the original game.
Wait. Really?
Yeah. It's in the original game.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, it is. It's in the original.
Yes.
And then in
I must have. No, I did. The original PS2 version?
Yes.
No, not the original. Wait, I don't think it's in the original PS2 version. I think it's
No.
It is.
No. It is in the PS2 version.
It is.
I must.
Okay.
Yes.
I must have completely missed it. I just thought that was something new for Kiwami 2. Because basically, I'm so used to like weird, wacky additions. Like, you have the Majima stuff in Kiwami 1 that obviously wasn't there in PS2. And then I just thought, wait, that's actually there in PS2, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I don't quite believe that. I mean, I do believe you, but at the same time, I don't. So I'm gonna have to like get a concrete image.
You can look it up later, but for now, I could. You have
yeah,
to
later.
Yeah, for now, you're gonna have to take my word for it.
I'll take your word for it. Fine. It is. I'll sort of believe it.
Citation needed.
So yeah, what about? You know what? Let's not spoil more of it. So yeah, I can agree with Ethan. Yeah. The sub stories in this game is an improvement from the one from Kiwami 1. So yeah, let's talk about businesses, and this is something that they brought back from Yakuza 0. There's businesses you can manage in this game. The first one, which Ethan have spoiled, is the Cabaret Club, which they brought back from Yakuza 0, where you get to manage your own club.
Yes.
This one, you unlock the first cutscene, and it's a club called Forshine. It's in Sotenbori, and like with the Yakuza 0, you manage a cabaret club. We get to manage every table. You get to see what orders they want, what kind of girl what kind of hostess they want, what kind of hostess the customer wants, what kind of orders they want, stuff like that. It's addictive. You know, it's.
Yeah, I'm surprised how good it actually is, considering you're just kind of looking at a screen of tables.
Oh yeah, because I remember when
And I unlocked a very weird bonus with it. It's this like orange-headed character.
Oh.
Yeah, it's apparently from 6.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
Since I've not played 6, I don't know the context of this. I just kind of, it was like a save data bonus. I was like, oh, what's this doing here? I haven't played 6, so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of funny just seeing this like weird mascot just show up in like the middle of this club.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple cutscenes that involves that.
Yeah.
It's from a sub story, but it kind of sucks that it's a bronze level girl. I wish they made her gold or something.
Oh yeah, because you need like the best ones to do well.
Yeah, but
because that seems like it would be gold.
Yeah.
It's weird enough. You just kind of want the one around.
Maybe it would be too broken if it was.
Probably.
It's like, oh yeah, here's this amazing.
I consider it an early bonus, and then like afterwards, like sort of level up your own, and then get the better one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's a good system, and it's like it's fun when you're in the mood for it. And it's like, yeah, I'm curious to see how the sub story link to it goes as well. So yeah.
Yeah, if you played 0, yeah, it's there's a lot of elements that come back from that game.
Yeah, I definitely completed completion in 0. So yeah.
Yeah, and if you unlock certain life skills from the menu, you're gonna rake a lot of yen from playing that side game, the Cabaret Club.
Yeah,
you're gonna make a lot of money, like Yakuza 0 levels.
It is the best way to earn money.
Yes,
for sure,
definitely. You're gonna make a lot of money.
They want all the warm towels and expensive drinks with weird hand gestures.
So
but
yeah,
I will say though,
mm-hmm.
I do think the one in 0 is a little bit better.
Yeah, it fits with the weird overspending.
But there's just a little bit more of a story to it in 0. Which is why I think it's better in 0. But like, I will still say it's fantastic in Kiwami 2.
It's still great. It's
but I don't know. That could just be my Majima bias. So.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and also the fact that like the setting it was in, I think, sort of added to that because you know everyone's throwing money around in that game, so I guess it sort of fits in a bit more. But yeah, it's still fun that it's here. Yeah. So what's the other?
No, we'll get to there. We'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, there's the Cabaret Club management. I think it plays almost exactly like the one from 0, but there's like one difference. Like for the later leagues, because you're in a like a championship or something like that. In some later leagues, there's like right at the end, there's like special customers called oil barons, where you have to entertain. And you have to entertain them by mashing square like mad. And if you fill that meter, they gotta give you a bonus at the end. But the problem is, especially during rival battles, it's like it kind of makes the game. It kind of makes the game a little too easy sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about the addition of the oil barons, Ethan?
Wait, sorry. What was that?
The oil barons. The addition of oil barons to Cabaret Club Map.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of neutral.
I haven't met an oil baron, so.
It's in the later leagues in the game.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on that one whenever I play the game again.
But yeah, I'm glad they brought back Cabaret Club management in this game, because I missed it in Kiwami 1, but I understood why it wasn't there. So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like I said, with businesses, they brought back the Cabaret Club management, and they also brought back another thing, which was also spoiled. The clan creator, or is it known in the game as Majima Construction, in which you help Majima, the Majima's company, defending their construction locations from other rivals who also want to take over their businesses.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
With you about that one, I hated it at first. I legit did not like the construction. I thought it looked like it was gonna be too much micromanaging, and I'm not that big of a fan of like RTSs. But later on,
same here.
When it got like better stuff, and then there was plots, there was like rivals, and the rivals were all really interesting people, and I just really enjoyed it and got into it. It was like, yeah, this is really fun. Like, what?
Yeah, I was overwhelmed when I first played my first Majima construction mission. I was like, oh no.
I know that if you get the DLC, because there's literally a DLC pack, that DLC pack for the Majima is apparently really broken. Basically, it's easy mode. So if you get that, if you're having a hard time, then you can get that DLC pack and boom.
For cash money, yeah. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play it as is, you know.
Yeah.
I see too many. It's like the Resident Evil games where there's like there's an unlock all for money, and I'm like, no, I want to play the game.
Devil May Cry 5. You want Super Dante? Here you go.
No, I want to play the game of for Super Dante. I don't want to pay Capcom money. I mean, they pay for the game, but not for yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've yet to try it.
You do not need that DLC in order to beat
No.
Modular Construction. You don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll play it legit, and I've.
Yeah, saying it. Yeah, I didn't bother with the DLC either.
Because I didn't even know the game had DLC. I just sort of like. I mean, basically, the games are so packed that like they kind of don't need it.
Yeah, if there's there's a surprising amount of DLC in the newest one 7, like a dragon, but it's just cosmetic stuff.
There is a 9 gigabyte free pack for like pachinko machines. I'm like, why is this 9 gigs?
I don't know. I have yet to actually do that.
Yeah, no, it's 9 gigabytes in it. I mean, at least it's enough. It doesn't cost anything. But I'm just like, okay, why? Does it? are they that detailed? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no. Majima Construction, yeah, seems fun. All I knew about it was it had a theme, which I've not listened to because I want to listen to it in the game.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Especially,
yeah.
I'll
figure out what it is.
Yeah, it plays during the main menu and a little snippet of it after you complete a mission successfully.
Yeah, because I got it in my YouTube recommendations like twice. It's like, no, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, that was also on my watch later list until I played the game later.
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to there.
Oh, yeah. And something else regarding the Majima Construction. Wait, have any of you played Yakuza 6?
I have not played Yakuza 6 at all.
Because I believe the Majima Construction was, like I said, it's based off of the Clan Creator mode from 6. Which I think it's a little similar as well. Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't know how much difference between the two. So maybe we'll see that later.
That's also probably the thing too, is that like, yeah, I'm sure like there especially when you're like going through, when I played Kiwami 2 and experiencing some of these like for the first time, and you're like, well, that's actually in this other one, and that's always kind of interesting about Yakuza, because like I know you mentioned Pool, like Pool's gone, but it's actually in 3. It comes back in 3. They bring back Pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, things come and go, rearrange. Games are made out of order. Well, technically in
However,
order, but also out of order.
karaoke is always a mainstay.
Oh yeah,
Never
definitely,
get
Yes.
rid of that.
definitely.
Dummy.
Dummy.
Actually, though, I don't know if that's in 3. Because I'm like halfway through 3, and I swear it's not in 3.
I don't think it was. I don't know when it became a meme, but I'm pretty sure it was only when Kiwami in
It's
Kiwami
gotta
Zero.
be when Kiwami, or at least Zero.
Yeah, that was the revival period,
I
and the more.
Yeah, I believe it was the song itself was first introduced in Yakuza 5.
Oh yes, that would make sense thematically.
Yeah,
That would actually.
5
And I didn't think of
0.
anything of it. I just thought, hey, that's a nice song. Then later on, you know, all the memes. And it's like, wow, I'm glad it's gotten there, but man, this is like reached like
There's literally
a weird new level.
there's literally see, like that's the funny thing is, like, because in Yakuza 7 there's literally like a checklist of stuff for you to do, and one of them is playing that song a few times, and it's just like it's like no, listen, I just really like the song. That's what you get.
Yeah, fair enough. At least they're self-aware.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they totally are.
Yeah.
So yeah, is that it for your thoughts on like Kiwami 2?
We have one last
sure.
thing
It's a
to
lot.
yeah, there's one last thing to talk about, which is the Majima saga. So throughout
Oh yeah, because the box art mentions it,
Yeah.
and I have no idea what that's like.
I always forget about that. I always forget about that part.
Oh yeah, so throughout the game you unlock what is called the Majima Saga, which is a three chapter long mini story, a 3 chapter long campaign that where you play as Majima. Basically, when it comes to story wise, it's like a prequel set to like months, like half a year before the events of Kiwami 2. You know, explains why, because in the game. In the game, Kiwami 2, Majima have left the Tojo clan. And so in the Majima saga, you learn why he did that, basically. So that's about it.
Yeah, because that's kind of a big plot point, and yeah, I did just kind of because I forgot, like, the second game doesn't like 100% tell you exactly why you left. I think originally, because I don't, unless the Majima saga was in the original too.
It was not. No, I remember playing Yakuza 2 on PS2, and that was not in there. He just kind of shows up in the construction helmet,
Yes.
building a building, and that was it. Like, that's when you see him again. You don't get to play as him. There's no saga, so yeah, that is entirely new content. So I'm curious to see how that is when I get around to it.
Yeah, I recommend just like the problem is it's 3 chapters long, but not all the chapters are unlocked from the get-go. You have to play through the main mission so you can unlock all of them. Me personally, I played it after I completed Kiryu's main campaign.
Right. So you'd play like a Majima mission, then back to Kiryu, play a Majima, back to Kiryu.
No, it's a special.
It's its own thing. When you boot up the game.
Yes.
So when you boot up the game, you give it the option to.
So recommended beat the game first, then play Majima stuff.
That's recommended.
Yes.
Fine.
You do unlock like the sections throughout the main game.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yes.
so periodically you'll be like, okay, Majima Saga 1 is now unlocked. But, you know, for clarity or just streamlining it, just play Kiryu's and then first.
If it's only like 3 chapters long, I'm thinking, yeah, you know, why not just play all 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's best.
Yeah. Or yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll see how that goes.
Also, without spoiling too much, the story itself is like, it's not that important, but it kind of ties a few knots to some plot elements regarding Majima from Yakuza 0. So it's gonna be, you're probably gonna like it.
Yeah, it's more Majima, so I can't really complain.
Yeah. But when it comes to combat with Majima, he plays like with Kiryu. He only plays with one style, the Mad Dog style, with his knife.
Oh, no breaker?
No, unfortunately not.
Darn.
Nah, that wasn't my favorite. My favorite was Slugger. Oh, Slugger. Freaking love that.
I think it's just because breakdancing in combat to me is just funny. So I just thought I always mostly pick
definitely
that.
is the most humorous one.
But yeah, baseball bat, that's his thing, so yes.
Yeah.
I swear Slugger is like broken though. Like I swear.
It's been a while since I played Zero, so how broken are we talking?
Like literally, there's some moves you could do in Slugger that would just if someone's blocking, it's like nope, they're no longer blocking, and now you
Oh,
now you
right.
just
So
wail
like,
on them.
so any sort of tough enemy is like almost
Literally any sort of tough enemy, and they also had insane combos too that you could just do, and no one could hit you. I think of the one where he like swings his bat around like nunchucks. And if anyone approaches you, yeah, they're not gonna hit you.
Yes, okay. I admittedly, yes, I did use that one a lot.
Yeah, it's like I swear to God, it's so broken.
Yeah.
But great to use.
Yeah, that's why it was.
So that's the balance, you know. If it's broken but fun, then there's a sort of weird counterbalance there.
Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to Majima Saga, like I said, there's not much you can do. It's only like fighting random street bosses who like give you like silver and golden plates, and that's it. There's not much to do with Majima aside from story missions. But that's
okay.
So like I said, wait until you unlock all 3 of them, and then you can play them all back to back.
Okay.
So, as for recommendation, well, I'd say overall, Yakuza Kiwami 2 is great. It's great. I think there's some negatives in my opinion with some aspects, but overall, it's a great game. It's really great. And if I recommend a newcomer, I'd say it's best to go with either Zero or Kiwami. Don't go with
you can't go wrong with
either.
either.
Depends on the type of player you are. If you're the type that like, oh man, Zero, here it's like a 100-hour game, and that's daunting to you, then Kiwami.
Yes, it's shorter.
As long.
It's shorter and it's a remake of.
Like, yes, I want to get into 100-hour. Let's go. Then Zero.
Yes. I think Kiwami 2 is a little longer than Kiwami 1, considering the business side activities. But
yeah.
No, even the main, like even if you're just doing the main story, it is a bit longer.
A little longer,
too.
Yes.
But there is also more to do in 2 than there is 1. So.
Yeah, Kiwami 1 felt a little more bare compared to the original.
Oh yeah, especially if you go from 0 to Kiwami 1, then you're like, oh, what the
yeah.
What happened?
Because I remember when we talked about it, when we talked about Kiwami 1, I said that it felt like an expansion pack of 0. Because how little, minimalistic,
Literally like
I know what you mean.
half length of 0.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, Kiwami 2, good time. Easy recommendation, but not as a first Yakuza game. Although
Oh hell no! Not even to play virtual on.
Oh yeah. But if you but I think oh yeah, but it also has like it's still, you can still kind of go into it as your first game, because it also because they also have like a what's it called, a quick recap of
Mini movies.
Yeah,
recaps. Yeah,
recaps of the first game, so you won't be completely lost if you played Kiwami 2 as your first game.
Oh yeah.
But it's still I still say play it after Kiwami 1.
Yeah,
that's
essential.
Yes, Kiwami 1 is essential. Kiwami 0 if you really want to. It's more ideal if you start with 0, but you can't go wrong with Kiwami 1 as the first game.
No, you honestly can't.
Yeah.
Plus, like 0 does have a lot of callbacks to other Yakuza games.
Yeah.
But also if you play 0 and then play 1, then the story of 1 feels a lot hits a lot harder.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's why I did it, because I liked 1 on PS2 and I liked 2 on PS2. So I'm like, you know what? See what this is like. And it's like, yeah, the connections are great, but yeah, it depends on the player, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that it?
Yeah, I guess
I think
that's
we talked our piece.
Yep,
I think
that's about
it's
it.
as extensive as we went, yeah.
Yep, we talked an entire hour for this game.
Goddamn.
Well, it's Yakuza, so it's Yakuza length.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about these games. I'm not sure if there's gonna be anything new to talk about when it comes to later Yakuza games. I'm gonna get into because I'm gonna take a little because I just finished Kiwami 2, but I'm not gonna jump into 3 until like many months later.
Oh yeah, probably best.
I recommend
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, because
Especially
Even
with
though
its
3 is a
prologue,
much
I'm
shorter
just
game,
saying.
it's so super short. Like 3 is really surprisingly short.
is it?
I wouldn't have figured, actually.
Well, let's see. I am like 6 hours in, and I'm already on chapter 7, and there's like 12 chapters.
I think the PS4 version is slightly more extended because it put in some cut content from the PS3 version.
Yes.
Oh, there was cut content.
Yes.
Yeah, like there was a lot of stuff trimmed out. Apparently, I don't know, mostly side stuff. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm curious to see what that is.
Yeah, and also new translated scripts. So Kazuma is not referred to as Fuma like in Kiwami 1 and 2, like in the original 1 and 2.
Yeah, and they got rid of a lot of the cringy stuff too. There's
Cringy?
no more let's blaze it.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, that was
I must
the
have.
original translation.
Okay, it's been so long since I played OG3 that I must have forgot that.
No, yeah, I didn't know before, but before I played 3, I saw somewhere of just a compilation of like
yeah. I saw that
so
too.
it's completely different. It's a new translation, and they got rid of a lot of the cringy, hip, quote unquote dialogue or the original one had.
I mean,
They tried
that's
to use
welcome.
modern slang, so they got rid of all that.
Oh yeah. Also.
Oh my god, they pulled a Nintendo America.
Yeah.
Like where there's the Zelda game where the dialogue was more cringy in America, but in the UK it was normal
Yeah.
dialogue.
Dang, oh no, I wonder if it was like that. Oh no.
I don't know how. I mean, the thing is, I wonder if that might have been the US only version in the UK. No,
Probably-
that's surely
probably
not.
is, then. It probably was only the US. Dang, why do you guys
I'd
do
have to
better
look that up.
translations?
Because honestly, I don't remember Blaze It, but the thing is, it's been so long that maybe down to like me not remembering it properly, it probably is there because it would make no sense to make 2 English translations. It makes sense for this because it's been so long and it's it's a remaster. But I'm like, yeah. Then again, stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Also, like what Ethan says, you or Ethan it said that there was cut content that they brought back for the. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think
Curious to see what that is.
I think it's the mahjong and the shogi minigames. I think.
Oh yeah, I think they cut that out because of gambling or lowered it down
would
probably
make
slightly.
sense. That would honestly. That
No,
would
no,
make
no. I think
sense,
it's because it was too Japanese for the mainstream
Oh
audience.
wait. Okay. Because I was just like, because like there's gambling laws, so that would make sense that they have to cut it out. But
No, the thing is, the UK is all about gambling. I get gambling ads on YouTube like every other video, so it's not illegal here, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I guess
know that,
maybe as like a
period.
approachability.
I just know that there was a period of time. I don't know if it was a Japan thing or maybe it was more of a US thing, where like you couldn't have gambling. That's why like they got rid of the gambling in Pokemon, for example.
They made a gambling logo over here eventually, like for Peggy. That's another symbol you can look up next to the drugs one. Anyway,
But yeah,
right? Okay, I think
we said
yeah.
we said enough.
yeah, I think same here. Whew. Well, so
yeah, Yakuza Kiwami 2, go buy it.
definitely. So yeah, that's about it. I guess what's all the only thing left now is how about where can you find you on the internet? Both of you guys.
Shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Right, so, I'm mostly on Twitter at Meleemario720. I also have a YouTube, which is, that's my main thing, sometimes when I actually make videos. But I also do drawings, and I do take commissions on Otis Beard Draws, all one word, on Instagram and Twitter as well, so you can find me there. It's linked on my main profile. And I also have a YouTube channel under the same name where there's occasional animations. But yeah, that's kind of where I am.
All right.
You can find me by literally just searching Gumshoe or Gumshoe Gamer in anything, and I'm basically the first thing because no one else has this name apparently, which is okay, cool.
Really? Just thought that was a general detective term.
It is. It's a general detective term,
Yeah.
but like no one.
How has no one taken that yet? I just associate it with Phoenix Wright.
I mean, yes, of course. But
Yeah.
I do have a YouTube. I haven't posted on anything on there in a long time, but there's some old videos. I mainly stream on Twitch now, so you can pop in if that's your sort of cup of tea or coffee, as I like to say.
Mhm.
But I have my own podcast and all that stuff. Just do that if you like the sound of my voice. Hey,
Yep.
that's cool by me.
He has a podcast. I actually listened to the one where you had Golden Bolt, and that's when I.
Oh yeah, I had Golden Bolt on recently.
I was like, damn, you got some interesting guests on your podcast. Like Golden Bolt is no complete stranger. So yeah, that's about it for this episode of Backlog Banter. Ethan, Otis, thank you so much for coming in, to join me on this episode. And I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, sorry for we had to push the recording like an hour before the original.
That was
schedule.
me. Yeah, it was me as well trying to wait on how good the Wi-Fi was when other people weren't using it.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's a thing.
So yeah, I guess that's it for this episode of Backlog Banter. Thank you so much for listening. If you actually made it all the way to this part, and until next time, if we're gonna have another episode, wear a mask, wash your hands, and don't be an asshole. And
The 3 golden rules.
Yeah.
Or else, I'll get my buddy the dragon to show up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Takes real good care of assholes.
Yeah, the real one, not the fake one.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. Till next time, take care. Bye.
Cheerio.
Bye.